down to defeat to Christopher Judy in North.
So, guys, we're going to be starting in a few minutes. We've got Indiana election results coming in. We're going to be covering that for our dear friends at WIBC and getting to some of our regular stories, things we want to get to. Keep it here. I'll play you some of these results as I'm doing some work, and we'll get to it in a few minutes.
The industry's most reliable battery backup sump pump. It saved me, Alan.
I know you have first-hand experience.
Oh, yeah. You and I put a basement watchdog in my home, and that big dog saved my basement several times.
And now, Spike, we have the big combo, a basement watchdog system with a primary and a battery backup sump pump for twice the protection, and it's pre-assembled for easy installation.
You think I could put it in alone?
All by yourself, Spike. Plus, this system is fail-safe. It's constantly self-monitoring to make sure every part is working, ready to come to your rescue.
I know what damage a flooded basement can do to your home.
Take it from Radio Spike Odell. Avert disaster with a basement watchdog system.
Available at Home Depot, Lowe's, and most hardware stores.
Watching out for you, the basement watchdog.
There is one mayoral race in Indiana tonight. Normally those races would be held in the off years, like next year, but Fishers will have a mayoral race this year and next year. It is their first year as a city, and so they are nominating their first mayor. That race still too close to call. Scott Fadness, the town manager, leading Walt Kelly, the former town council president, 46 to 43%. That's a margin of 328 votes. We will continue to keep you posted. We bring in Network Indiana's political analyst, Abdul Hakim Shabazz. Abdul, we said 3 incumbents going down to defeat in state legislative races. That's an unusually high number, safe to say. What's going on there? Are those just 3 individual district cases, or do you see a trend?
I wouldn't necessarily say a trend, but I would see in the fact that, number one, if you're incumbent, you cannot take anything for granted. That's sort of rule number one. There were some incumbents who you would think would be in very safe places. They had primary challenges. They still ran like they were behind, and they were successful. I think up in the northern area where we saw Rebecca Kubacki, Kathy Hoyer, there are lots of issues. HGR3 being one. The regulation of unlicensed daycare, the fact their opponents, got out on the attack early, had a lot to do with it. I think in the Waterman-Bassler race, the fact that the Indiana Chamber got in early, supporting Eric Bassler, really helped.
I just want to give you a heads up. I'm having some technical issues with our computer, so if it runs through your theme and keeps going, I will fix it. But I'm just having some major issues right now.
Up for grabs.
Are we claiming racism?
It's in live control, which means it's under my command.
It's under your power.
Deciding to play crap.
Okay, because that was just crazy before.
Yeah, no, I had everything set up, and then it decided to load all of my decks and start playing stuff.
Racism.
Pretty much.
Boehning looks like he's going to hold on at this point, so still a couple too close to call. I want to ask you about HJR3. You mentioned that there were 5 candidates with primary challengers this year who were sort of clearly identified, or could be clearly identified, with that debate. And they came out with 3 wins and 2 losses. Representatives Kubacki and Hewer were among those who voted for the amendment last time and against it this time. But another one in that group, Jerry Torr, won easily in Carmel. On the flip side, on the other hand, Eric Turner easily renominated, despite not only whatever controversy there is on HJR3, but his ethics controversy where he was finally cleared last week, and Milo Smith, the House Elections Chairman. About 15 seconds. Again, is this a trend? Does this mean HJR3 is more popular than some suggested?
I don't think necessarily HJR3 is more popular. I think a lot of it really does go, in a sense, to the candidate and the district that the candidate is in. If you look where Jerry Torr is, close to Indianapolis, a very metropolitan district, obviously it worked for him. Milo Smith, not so much.
We will see you in an hour. This is Network Indiana.
Springtime in Indy, and after a brutal winter, why not do what?
All right, now I think we're coming back.
But 2 homes. He called Rhino Shield.
My wife actually, on our old house, actually.
Now I think we're bringing it back to life.
All right, you're going to be a minute and a half off because it's playing Rhino Shield and Menards, but then you'll be in.
Now Central Indiana.
If I'm a minute and a half off, that's going to put me at.
But you can make it up. You can make it up at 17:30. You can be out.
And so.
Oh, it's up to you.
Feel as though we're reduced.
I'm just trying to figure out this computer right now.
All right.
Just because of the
well,
springtime savings.
Breathe.
15% off the regular price of Rhino Shield. 15%.
And I'm assuming no one's joining us.
Transfer it to the new owners.
I don't know. I'm worried about getting this computer back on track.
Limited, so hurry. Call me at 888-RHINO-41. That's 888-RHINO-41.
We've watched neighbors who moved in after us already start to repaint, and we're just hooking along.
Hey, don't Rhino, go Rhino Shield. Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
Check out what's going on with 93 WIBC.
Click on our contest page for your chance to win tickets to the Decorator Show House, 500 Festival Parade tickets, and more. You can also win tickets to the American Dairy Association's Fastest Rookie Luncheon with 500 trivia on our homepage.
All right.
And make plans to join us on Georgia Street this Wednesday from 11 to 1 for the Red Kettle Cook-Off to benefit the Salvation Army.
Grab more info online at WIBC.com.
Let's see what happens.
Okay, Tony, I'm going to have you come in. There's no theme, but just start talking.
Sure. Just tell me when.
I'm sorry.
I will start talking anytime you want, Paige. Paige, should I start now or should I start now?
Yes, because I don't know what's going on.
What is happening? Election night in Indiana and everything goes completely insane. All I know is everything was working when Abdul was in studio. He leaves the studio and says, "Oh, Katz is on." Next thing you know, wires are missing. It's like when Clinton left the White House and Bush came in and they took all the W's off the keyboards. Basically, it was what has happened. Abdul and Eric Berman colluding to have an attack on you, Paige. I claim misogyny. For you, I claim war on women. Thank you very much. Tony Katz tonight, everybody. It is election night. Seriously, so what happened is that we do the handoff. Of course, you've had the live election coverage all night. We've got some more to go because Fishers doesn't have a mayor. I'm pretty sure I know that. I've been paying attention, folks. You think I live in Los Angeles and I don't care? You're mad, people. I know everything. And there's the handoff, and Matt, the producer, hands it off, and the next thing you know, everything's a total mess, Paige. Are you feeling better? Is it back under control?
No, I mean, at this point, I just need you to talk until I tell you.
Seriously, should we just set things on fire? Because I'm completely fine with that.
I kind of feel like that might do something.
You have my permission to burn the mother down.
I mean,
just go right to it.
I'm at that point right now. I'm at that point where it just might happen.
Go right to it. I think the big story from the election, you've been hearing it all night here at WIBC, and you're going to be hearing some more of it throughout the evening, because I'm a guy with some questions, especially when people are voting for tax increases supposedly to help the schools, and the schools are so quick to these press releases. That one from Decatur there is look, we're one vote ahead. Send out the press release. We got ourselves some more money. Everything was wonderful and good. It's the voter turnout conversation. I'm really, really, really surprised. And I'm very surprised, not because you expect a low turnout in an off election. I get that. There were no major, as you heard the guys talking about earlier, statewide races going on. But you often, and so many people are talking about their anger and disgust with government. They're talking about their anger and disgust with the system, with the process, with the people in power, and they don't show up. These small elections, and they're not small. They're important, but compared to what we focus on so much of our time on in the press, etc., they are small elections. This is where your money gets spent. This is where your most impact happens. And this is the lowest turnout? I mean, what was the quote? There was one quote that was from, where is it? From University of Evansville. Robert Dion, he heads the political science department at the University of Evansville. He said, after all the gnashing of teeth of the last few elections, it's hard to stay awake through this one. That's the problem. And it's eating me alive. It's driving me absolutely crazy. Because you have this great moment to really have impact, not only on local representation, but on dollars. If you ask me, you can ask one of the guys, bring Alex Brown in, see if Eric Berman's around there from Network Indiana. Bring him in. I'll ask them about the Decatur conversation, for example. I can't tell you how much money it is. I don't have it off the top of my head, or whether or not it was absolutely necessary. My problem is I don't live in Decatur. But if you lived there and you didn't show up, or you know people there and they didn't show up, and when they all of a sudden see that they're paying more in taxes,
medal win at the Tchaikovsky competition.
When they see that they're paying more in taxes, what are they going to complain? Because if they complain, please have them call in. I'd like to laugh at them. I'd like to laugh out loud at them. This is the stuff that gets me mental. You have these great opportunities. By the way, speaking of great opportunities blown, it wasn't just Indiana doing elections. Boehner wins the GOP primary in Ohio, in Cincinnati. He defeated J.D. Winterreich, who we were supposed to have on the program last week. I'm sorry that didn't happen. Very, very interesting story. He actually got fired from his job for running for office. He ran the electile dysfunction ad. Did you ever see that page? The electile dysfunction? Oh, so good. Got fired for it.
I'm going to have you break in a few, like maybe at 18.
I have decided not to break.
Okay.
I have decided we're going 3 hours straight, people. This is how we roll. But Boehner's actually going to be on the ballot again. We will discuss that, more about the Indiana elections, and so much more ahead. Keep it here. This is Tony Katz Tonight.
Deteriorating situation in...
I'm so sorry about that.
Dude, read.
Is just minutes away.
Benghazi.
If the Democrats boycott...
I am never bothered by technical issues that come up.
To subpoenaing the secretary?
I am bothered that when we can't connect, and we connect the same way every single time.
Agree that
there's the difference.
It's real, it's happening.
I'm bothered by the fact that none of those guys, we don't know if they were staying or not. That bothers me. But nothing else bothers me. Don't worry about it. Sit him in the chair, Eric Berman. He owes me money anyway.
Dad, can I have ice cream?
Ask your mother.
Dad, what's the square root of 452?
Ask your mother.
Is Eric scheduled to be there all night?
Can I have new shoes?
Ask your mother.
You know it's true.
I think until 11.
Okay. Is asked to do a lot.
I'm not going to worry about Prime Image this hour.
Get from Indy's own Distinctive Diamonds.
Yeah, that's fine.
Distinctive Diamonds
handle your business.
An incredible selection of Mother's Day gift ideas. Something
handle your business. Budget. Everybody send Paige some love
from our designer collection. Or
on the Twitters. Yeah, I said dude. I could say dude. I'm not talking about 4 dead men in Benghazi. I could say dude.
Perfect way to let the mother in your life know how much she's appreciated, and get 12 months no interest financing.
All right, I'm starting to calm down. Whew.
Dad, can I have a baby brother?
Ask your mother.
Distinctive Diamonds. Mother's Day presents for everything you asked Mom to do. Keystone at the crossing beside the David Wolf Green Bridge.
Springtime in Indy, and after a brutal winter, why not do what Glenn did with not 1 but 2 homes? He called Rhino Shield.
My wife actually, on our old house, actually on our roof, and the paint can then fell, covering the roof and the shingles, and it was at that point we said, you know, we just really don't want to do this anymore.
Now, Central Indiana, you can get the guaranteed protection of Rhino Shield for 15% off the regular price. 15%.
There is an R factor to the paint, and so we actually feel as though we're reduced our heating bills, even our air conditioning bills, just because of the R factor.
Springtime savings. Get 15% off the regular price of Rhino Shield. 15%.
And it actually transferred to the new owners.
Here's Jim Williams, owner of Rhino Shield.
This offer's limited, so hurry. Call me at 888-RHINO-41. That's 888-RHINO-41.
We've watched our neighbors who moved in after us already start to repaint, and we're just cooking along.
All right, so guys,
Never paint your house again.
Paige did not send flowers to my mom, B. Williams. What kind of madness?
Motor Speedway's world-famous oval.
What kind of madness?
4-mile road course with 14 heart-pounding turns. Then unleash your favorite.
While not trying to speak in code, but
2 minutes.
2 minutes hurts. Are we still 29 for the break?
Yes.
Thank you. So we're back on
We should
track.
be back on track after this.
All right.
More high-speed passing.
Does Eric have time for me, or is he busy doing stuff? Can he sit? Can he talk?
He said sure he's got time.
Oh, beautiful. Tell him to put up his feet and relax.
I don't know if that's really possible for him tonight.
Okay. Can you hear me right now in the studio as I'm just talking?
Yeah.
Okay.
He says hi.
Okay.
Witness the Verizon IndyCar Series first ever Grand Prix of Indiana.
I'll talk more in code later.
Tickets start at only $25. Get yours at ims.com. But hurry, because they're going
I don't know what that was.
It's a great time to update your home
gang
now during
signals.
Menards Kitchen and Appliance Sale. Save big on everything to build the kitchen of your dreams, including cabinets by Schrock. They're beautiful on the outside, smart on the inside. Right now, get huge instant savings with qualifying purchase of Schrock cabinets. Stop in today and let us design the kitchen of your dreams. No appointment necessary. Don't miss the great deals during Menards Kitchen and Appliance Sale.
Save big money at Menards.
Hey, it's Big Joe for your trusted local independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer, Reinhardt Heating and Cooling. Serving Hendricks and
All
surrounding
right.
areas, owner Danny Reinhardt runs his family business.
My 3 children, Kevin, Corey, and Kim, they all work for me. I have another gentleman that's been.
How do you feel about that? People who name their kids all the same initial?
And so we really truly are a family business.
I mean, we've had a couple of families that we knew where they all had like T names or K names.
Right. Does Eric do that? Did Eric name all his kids, or did he do like a form and they're all named Eric?
I don't know. You'll have to ask
Including
him.
the
He's talking to
girls.
someone right now about election results.
Okay.
Click on our contest page for your chance to win tickets to the Decorator Show House, 500 Festival
Poor Alex. I'm like panicking and like, Alex, please help me.
To the American Dairy
Does Alex know what to do?
Fastest Rookie Luncheon.
He does, because he does a lot of stuff for B105.
Page.
Oh, does he?
To join us on Georgia Street.
Yeah, he does their overnight stuff.
From 11
What a
to 1
fancy
for the
man he
Cook
is.
Off to benefit
If
the
he's got election results, he can come in too. I never say no to Alex Brown.
You're listening to Tony Katz tonight. To talk to Tony, call 239-9393.
You're in. Eric ran out just for a second.
Great to be with you all. So many election results. Eric Berman will be with us in a second. I don't know what Alex Brown is doing. I think on nights like this, he just drinks, straight grain alcohol and calls them as he sees them. He just makes up the results. So we'll have to keep an eye on that. We do have a couple of results for you, but I was talking about John Boehner cruising to victory in the GOP primary there in the 8th Congressional District in Ohio. No, I'm not a fan of the speaker. I have not been a fan of the speaker for a long time. I think that he is weak and ineffective. Maybe behind the scenes he's effective, but I need some strength, some gravitas, some push, some dynamics outside of the inner workings of the Hill. I don't need a guy who does an impression of members and wailing like a stuck pig in trying to insult them. That's not what I'm interested in. I want a guy who knows who the enemy is and knows how to target the right people. I want a guy who's engaged in the conversation about how you make America a better place, and you target those people and you shame those people who refuse to make America a better place. Why in the world are you going after your own party? It doesn't even make any sense. Doesn't make any sense at all. So no, I am not a fan. Am I surprised that he won the primary? Of course not. Sir, he's the Speaker of the House. He has $3.3 million still available. You have any idea how much money it takes to win one of these races? It's absolutely incredible. And Boehner's not going to have any real competition from Democrats. And do I want Boehner in there as opposed to a Democrat? The answer is, for me, yes, I do. I will take that. But I am going to be the first one to say it. Boehner needs to be replaced as Speaker, and replaced immediately. Needs to be replaced immediately. It's the only way. What's that there, Paige?
We need to cut in real quick for Fishers. Eric's got some reporting for us.
I love breaking news. Eric Berman, what do you got for us? Or not.
There we go. We have a mayor in Fishers, or at least we have a mayoral nominee. Scott Fadness has pulled it out with all precincts reporting. He defeats Walt Kelly, the former town council president, by just under 400 votes. A razor-thin margin, but Scott Fadness becomes the odds-on favorite to be their first mayor.
Let me ask you a question, Eric. While I've got you, and it's great to talk to you, even if by this measure. Was it a race that was based on something that was more than just who's going to be our mayor? Was there a tax issue at play? Was there a bond issue at play? Was there something that made people go in one direction or the other?
It was more a macro issue, I think. Fishers, as you know, has been growing by remarkable exponentially.
It's quite unbelievable.
Years. It doubles and doubles again and doubles again, and it's now going to be the 9th largest city in Indiana. And the debate really was about, so how do we manage the growth going forward? Do we want to attract more commercial development? Do we want to keep more of the green space that was initially envisioned? To a lesser extent, what do we do about the transit bill? Do we need to bring in more people, or do we have enough housing at this point and we need to turn a different direction? That was really what the discussion was about. The other thing, sort of below the surface, sort of subconsciously, you could argue this was a battle between old and new. Scott Fadness is the current town manager. He's been directing the town for the last 3 or 4 years, I believe. Walt Kelly can lay claim to having built the town. He was town council president for 14 years, back when that exponential growth was just starting. But he left office in 2000. From these election results, clearly a lot of people remembered him, even though that's a long time ago.
400 votes is not much. But I guess my question is it possible to say that it wasn't about a difference in style of how to move the city forward, but rather just who you knew? Is this a case of both would have been okay?
I think there's probably something to that. You know, campaigns matter. And certainly, you know, there were 6 candidates in this race, but those 2 were certainly the most visible in their campaigning. We assumed that they were both knocking on lots of doors, and it may have come down in the end. You know, we're dealing here with 6 conservative Republicans, essentially. I doubt that in broad terms there was a lot of difference among them. There was certainly difference among them on how they envisioned Fisher's growth. There were some differences on the transit bill, but fundamentally, these folks would all be at home with each other, I suspect. And when that happens, races come down to who does a better job of campaigning, who's more likable, who do people relate to, whose mailers are more effective in making their case. So a lot of it may have to do not so much with what they stand for, so much as how well they communicated that.
So a new mayor in Fishers, it's Fadness, correct?
Fadness, with an F as in Frank.
And when will do we know when he's sworn in? Like, is there a party? Will I be invited? How does that work?
Well, you definitely won't be invited. They've got the TSA list already. But no,
wow,
seriously.
Somebody knows me. Somebody really knows me.
He's not mayor yet. It's a foregone conclusion, but he's not mayor yet. This is just a primary. The election is in November. The Democrats have not nominated anyone. They have until June 30th to recruit somebody. The Libertarians have automatic ballot status in Indiana, so they have until June 30th to recruit somebody. Or if someone wants to run as an independent candidate, they would have to gather signatures, but an independent could still get on the ballot. So if none of those things happens by June 30th, then Scott Fadness can just count down to January 1st. If there is an opponent, then we make it official in November, but as the guy with an R after his name in the city of Fishers, he's going to be the odds-on favorite.
Eric Berman, WIBC. Hang loose. I want to talk to you after the break about what's going on with voter turnout there in Indiana. Much more ahead, election night in Indiana. This is Tony Katz Tonight.
This hour is powered by Indiana Roof and Exterior Cleaning. IndianaExteriorCleaning.com.
Hey, it's the chicks on the right here to tell you about our spring cleaning heroes at Zero Res Carpet Care.
Yep, now is the best time to clean up, and that means calling Zero Res.
Only Zero Res cleans green using their empowered water technology, and there's no residue left behind, and your carpets stay cleaner longer.
Plus, you shouldn't just clean your carpet and surfaces when they look dirty. You call Zero Res because they make your home healthy and clean, getting rid of all the bacteria and germs you can't see.
And isn't that really the whole point of spring cleaning?
They're still running their 3-room special, just $129 for pre-treating, cleaning, and sanitizing.
All right.
Just call them at 388-5141 and ask for the WIBC special.
And don't forget, Zero Res cleans upholstery, countertops, and tile floors, too, with no soaps, shampoos, surfactants, or any other chemicals.
That number again is 388-5141, or you can visit ZeroResIndy.com and tell them the chicks on the right sent you.
Don't forget, spelled forwards or backwards, Zero Res is the right way to clean.
Well, spring is here, and so are those spring rains and thunderstorms. Are you the type that worries when it starts to rain because you know your gutters are in bad shape, but you don't know just how bad? How about if I could get you those new gutters and a guarantee to never clean them out ever again? One of the worst jobs in the world as far as I'm concerned. Steve Simpson here. If you've climbed the ladder one too many times and you've laid in bed worrying about what kind of damage is happening to your house when the rain falls, you need Leaf Guard. Guaranteed never to clog or fall off your house for the rest of your life. No kidding. And if it ever does clog, Leaf Guard, will come out and unclog it for you for free.
You doing
In
all
other
right there,
words,
Paige?
Let them climb your ladder.
I am. 3.5 minutes.
Put it off
breathing?
procrastinators, and you know who you are.
Just barely.
Call Leaf Guard today. See how you could get up to $500 off, maybe even qualify for free installation. Leaf Guard of Indiana. Call them today, 546-0600. Again, 546-0600 for Leaf Guard.
Indianapolis, if you owe more on your home than it's worth and have been told that you can't refinance, go to meridianmortgagesolutions.net. We can possibly lower your monthly payment and take years off your mortgage. Get a low fixed rate starting in the 3s with little to no out-of-pocket closing cost and have no payments till summer. Perfect or less than perfect credit, call 317-968-9500 or apply online at meridianmortgagesolutions.net.
All loans and rates are subject to credit approval. Programs and rates are subject to change. Additional terms and conditions apply. Equal housing lender. See lender for restrictions and details. NMLS number 2975.
Dad, can I have ice cream?
Ask your mother.
Dad, what's the square root of 452?
Ask your mother.
Dad, can I have new shoes?
Ask your mother.
You know it's true. The mom in your house is asked to do a lot, so thank her this year with a Mother's Day gift from Indy's own Distinctive Diamonds. The team at Distinctive Diamonds has put together an incredible selection of Mother's Day gift ideas. Something for any budget.
You don't get to use that word as much as you'd like to, you know?
If you want me to, I will use it in every segment the rest of the show.
Beautiful pair of diamond earrings.
I would appreciate it. It's a great
Done.
word.
Come to
It's like gargantuan.
Challenge accepted.
The perfect way to let them
For the rest of the show, I will use kerfuffle once in every segment.
On any Mother's Day purchase.
Dad, can I have a baby brother?
Ask your mother. Distinctive Diamonds. Mother's Day presents for
Happening. Real
everything
time.
you asked Mom to do. Keystone of the crossing beside the David Wolf Green Bridge.
Hey, sis, what was the name of that greenhouse Mom took you to last year?
Oh, you mean Butler's Wholesale Retail Greenhouses. She's been going there for years. They have the best ferns, and their geraniums hanging baskets are huge. You know, they have over 25 varieties of hanging baskets, from $13.50 to $19.50. In fact, you can't beat their prices. They have annuals up to 48 counts, including vegetable mix and match for $13. Their bedding geraniums are $15 for 36 plants.
Well, sounds great, but what about their quality?
Oh, their plants are gorgeous.
Kerfuffle.
And you know, they let you shop.
I love how you're practicing it. 1 minute.
3.5 acres in all.
Well, how about getting together and taking Mom this weekend? Sounds good to me.
Butler Wholesale Retail Greenhouse, located at 2401 West Morris Street, only 2 miles from downtown. Open April 1st, 7 days a week. Give Butler's a call at 634-6067 or 370-2315. Butler's, where your gardening dollar goes yards further. Check them out on Facebook. Butler's Flowers and Plants. Tim Shooting Academy in Westfield, open daily to the public with 15 lanes, state-of-the-art ventilation, and a full-service store, satisfying all shooting needs. Visit timshootingacademy.com.
Steamatic of Indianapolis wins service awards with their quality and professional residential, commercial, and industrial service. See details at steamaticindy.com.
I'm Gary Dick. Inside Indiana Business Radio provides the breaking news you need to get ahead. Indiana's business news leader, weekdays at 6:40 a.m. and 5:35 p.m. on WIBC.
Video fun with a touch of snark and smothered in awesome sauce. The chicks on the right keep you laughing. Presented by Indy Tire on WIBC.com.
Stuff right there.
To talk to Tony Katz, call 800-571-9422 or 239-9393. This is Tony Katz Tonight.
You're in.
So in all of the election kerfuffle tonight, it got mentioned, and it's been mentioned repeatedly, about the low turnout. Eric Berman, who, by the way, if you follow his Twitter feed, you can catch it at WIBC.com. The entire WIBC Twitter feed is him right now. It is all him at WIBC_Eric Berman. Eric, thanks for sticking around. I'm assuming Eric is there.
Well, there we go.
I'm not just talking to myself, because that's just madness. The whole voter turnout conversation, man. The whole idea of voter turnout. You and Abdul and the gang were saying how low it was. How low was it?
Would you believe 7%? And this isn't to get smart, would you believe? 7% in Hamilton County.
Would you believe a ham sandwich?
Yeah.
Would you
How
believe
about one guy in a rowboat?
Nice! Oh, wow. Berman does impressions available for bar mitzvahs and kids' parties. 7%.
Terrible turnout. 7% in Hamilton County, 8% in Marion County. Those are the only two that I have at my disposal right now. But the one that stuns me, we knew this was going to be a low turnout election. For starters, it's a primary. For another, the top race on the ballot was whatever your congressional race was, and none of those were terribly exciting either. So unless you were in Fishers, there wasn't that much that was that controversial. But Fishers! They're electing their first mayor. You had two very strong candidates there, as well as 4 other people to choose from if you didn't like either of them. It's a history-making election there. 7%, and I am just frankly stunned by that.
I'm very bothered by it. I opened with that conversation that these are the elections. I mean, let me take you down to Decatur. You were saying that they had a tax referendum. That has passed. The money's going to go to the school districts. Now, remember, I live in California. The money never gets to where it's supposed to go. It ends up going to some train to nowhere. The people there didn't show up to decide whether or not they wanted to vote to spend more money, to take more money out of their own paycheck, out of their own pockets. These elections are supposed to be the elections that make all the difference to your life. Sometimes the big ones make less of an impact than the small ones. What is to account for is there something to account for the apathy? Or is it apathy, or was it just a lack of knowledge that there's actually elections today?
Well, it could be the latter, actually, because with the lack of all those other higher profile races that we talked about, 2 years ago, you could not possibly be unaware that there was an election going on, because Richard Murdoch was all over the airwaves and Richard Lugar was all over the airwaves, and there were some very hot congressional races. That was the year that Dan Burton retired, and so there were a bunch of 5th District candidates who were campaigning hard. You would have to be in a coma to not know there was an election. Go back to 2008, the 1 year in the last 30 that Indiana has had a presidential primary that mattered for anything. Barack Obama and Hillary Clinton were all over the state. You couldn't miss it. It was easy to miss this election. I went to my polling place, and they had picked that day for the handyman to do some work on the front entrance. And he wasn't bothering anybody because there was no one to bother. When nobody's advertising and none of the races are attracting much interest, even the contested congressional races, again, for the most part, the challengers didn't have any money and weren't advertising. Susan Brooks' challenger, David Stockdale, did do some advertising on WIBC. But for the most part, it was an invisible primary, and I think people did, to some extent, just forget that it was going on.
And in this invisible primary, because that's a great way to dub it, Eric, this 7% basic turnout statewide, you still have on the state side 3 incumbents who got the boot. Are any of those, I forget their names at the moment. I'll ask you to give them if you've got it in front of you. Any of those surprising, and what's the surprise?
No, none of them are surprising. All of them we knew were going to be in trouble going in. You always sort of wonder, okay, so it's one thing to be in trouble, it's another thing to actually lose. By the way, I just pulled up Allen County, which is Fort Wayne, and that's where one of those incumbents, Kathy Hewer, she actually lives outside of Allen County in Columbia City, but her district includes part of Allen County. Allen County, a whopping 12% turnout. So they were a little bit above what Hamilton County put out there.
Right.
But still, just low turnout. It'll be interesting to see what the final statewide numbers are. But it's going to be a record low. That much is for sure. But as far as those 3 legislators, we knew they were in trouble. John Waterman, the senator from Southwest Indiana, the chamber came out against him early. It's rare for the Indiana chamber to endorse a challenger over an incumbent, but they did in this race. He had the lowest on their scorecard. He had the lowest rating of any Republican senator, and in fact even ranked behind a couple of Democrats. And so the chamber went all in for his challenger, and they did so early. And so that went on the radar in a big hurry. Everybody knew that that was a race that was going to be hotly contested, and it ended up being close. The challenger there, Eric Bassler, jumped out to a big lead in part because his home county came in early, and that closed up as the other counties came in. He ended up winning by just 2 percentage points.
Right, 51-49. It was what was it? A difference of less than 400 votes.
I think about 300, yes.
Yeah.
And then the two state representatives, Rebecca Kubacki and Kathy Hewer. The debate tomorrow, the debate tomorrow is certainly going to be how much of that was HJR3, the gay marriage amendment. Both of them were Republicans who voted for that amendment in 2011, voted against it this year. They were among the group who stripped that second sentence. And that was definitely an issue in both of those campaigns. Was it the deciding issue? Well, that'll be open for debate.
Well, if you take a look, I mean, I don't mean to interrupt, but I'm taking a look at the results here from our partner over there at RTV6. Kurt Nisley, who beat Kubacki, you're talking about 65 to 35%. It's a shellacking.
Yeah. And honestly, you get...
And no matter where you are, that's a shellacking no matter where you are, no matter what the vote count is. When you can double the vote count, it's destructive.
Yeah, of an incumbent, no less.
Yeah.
And there's a certain irony there. I mentioned the chamber coming out against Senator Waterman. Rebecca Kubacki got her seat 2 elections ago when the chamber endorsed her over an incumbent. The only other time they've done that, in my memory, in the last 3 elections. So that circled back around. You know, was it HJR3? Probably in part. It certainly didn't help her any. That's a very conservative district. It was redrawn 2 years ago and probably got more conservative. I had an awful lot of people telling me that there were some concerns about her constituent service, that they were hearing back from people who were complaining that they couldn't reach her when they wanted her. Whether that was true or not, I don't know, but that perception was out there.
That's a perception that kills, man.
That is absolutely.
You guys were interviewing earlier a member of Congress. Her name I forget. It's from the 2nd, I believe.
Jackie Walorski.
That's it, and she was discussing the fact, she was adamant about being someone who's in touch, constantly in touch, always here every weekend, always available to people. I got to assume that, and sometimes in California it is difficult to get a hold of people, but Indiana is not California. You have to be able to touch them and feel them, otherwise they can't get your vote.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing about constituent service. If you're in a swing district, as Jackie Walorski is, it's absolutely critical. You've got to show people that you rise above ideology and that you're there for them regardless. If you're not in a swing district, if you're in a district that favors your party,
right,
it's still critical because you can get a primary challenger, and if people get sick of you regardless of your party, they're going to go looking for somebody else.
Yeah, I absolutely agree, and I think it's a great point. Whether you have a party challenge or not, it is a question of whether or not people feel that they're actually represented. And on those local levels, you have people of all stripes who want to just be able to know that there is an office hour, there is an opportunity to reach. When things aren't in session and they're not at the Capitol, that you are able to access someone, either the representative themselves or someone from their office. And if you feel you can't do that, that is absolutely something that turns elections. Eric Berman, you, sir, are a treat. I know you'll have more at the top of the hour with Network Indiana. I look forward to getting that report. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll have more later. This is Tony Katz Tonight.
The sounds of spring in Indiana.
5 minutes.
One kerfuffle down.
It's true.
And everyone's favorite. Things can change in an instant, so it's good to know where you can turn 24 hours to get the latest info.
There will be the potential of some isolated
So can I tell you, I played soccer on
storms hit.
The best chance of these
Sunday?
severe storms will be from Indianapolis
Sunday.
to the south.
We spring into action. 93 WIBC.
Hi.
I shouldn't say I played soccer.
I worked at Renewal by Anderson for 8 years, and I love my job. I'm one of the professional installers who will come to your home with their new windows. You can be sure that
I'm sorry, you played or you kicked the soccer ball?
I kicked the soccer ball. I am not in playing mode yet.
Our products are energy efficient.
But I kicked the ball towards me, and I went to get it. I'm wearing shorts of all things.
They're beautiful.
It was a gorgeous day
now,
here.
Save $225
And I, for whatever reason, by instinct, it was a little far away from me, so I kind of like slid for it.
So if you need new
Don't
windows,
ask me what
give
made me
us a
think
call.
of this.
844
I haven't done anything like this since
That's
college.
844-480-4800.
I ripped up my knee. In every, I mean, not the inside, but just the skin. You know, like when you like when you scrape the gravel.
Yeah.
It wasn't gravel. It was grass, and I still did it. I should take a picture. It's nasty.
4800. And tell them Jeff sent you.
Aren't you worried at all about your arm?
Dude, I didn't. When I got up, I did.
Pastor John Gable of Tabernacle Presbyterian Church.
I mean, shouldn't that have been your first thought before you decided to go kick a soccer ball?
Dude, it was a reaction. I didn't think. I was done after that. Luckily, I didn't land on the arm.
So what accounts for TAB's long history?
Very lucky.
Faithfulness to the call.
3 minutes.
A call that has not changed in 2,000 years, but is still relevant today. Of course, it's helpful to study and celebrate our past, but TAB's ministry and work speaks to today. Yes, TAB has a rich history, but we are also engaged right now and will be well into the future.
Tabernacle Presbyterian Church, 34th Street and Central Avenue in Indianapolis, invites you to worship Sunday morning at 8, 9, or 11. If you can't make it in person, tune in to Sunday with TAB, Sunday mornings at 6:30 on WIBC.
Yeah, it was just
to learn more about
brutal.
TAB, visit us at tabpres.org.
Let me see if I...
Springtime in Indy, and after a brutal winter, do what Patty did. Call Rhino Shield.
What
It was such a
motivated
reaction.
me to call was two projects that we had at our house. The summers would come and go, and I finally just said, got to get these two things painted. They look terrible, and it needs to be done.
Yeah, I shouldn't give anybody the impression that it was a
Rhino
game.
Shield's not paint. It's better.
Colors matched up very well.
It was not a game.
And they were in and out, no mess. It all looks great. I was very pleased.
Central Indiana. Call Rhino Shield now and get 15% off the regular price. 15%.
Call Rhino Shield. The professional people that will come out and do the painting done is well worth the investment.
And as Jim Williams, owner of Rhino Shield, says,
This offer's limited, so hurry. Call me at 888-RHINO-41. That's 888-RHINO-41.
Don't pay, don't Rhino. Go Rhino Shield.
I will say this,
Paint
though.
your house again.
Here was the gopher in the middle of the field.
Problem, you're sneezing, wheezing, it's dusty, yuck. Think you can have a clean, healthy home with a portable
Just
air purifier?
hanging
You
out.
think wrong, my friend,
Very
because that only solves the problems in one room. With an Aprilaire air cleaner, you'll capture teensy tiny particles in every room of your home.
I should not
Your
give the
heating and
impression that I
cooling
was
specialist installs it, and it's clean, it's healthy. Enjoy whole home air quality solutions only
That would
with
not be
Aprilaire.
accurate.
Go to aprilaire.com to find a local indoor air quality specialist. Aprilaire. Feel good inside.
Sis? Yeah, Dad is showing signs of Alzheimer's. The doctor says
Until there's a cure for Alzheimer's disease, it's comforting to know there's a place like Augustus Cottage at American Senior Communities, where
You should have
quality
seen
of
it.
life is the primary goal, and the focus is on
I kind of feel like you're about ready to describe it again.
environment where residents
Well, no,
have
it's
a
just
sense
like
of belonging.
there's
Augustus
sometimes
Cottage staff are
I don't
trained,
know.
compassionate,
Somehow
and
I thought I was
patient, caring
23.
people who really make a difference. For more information about
I hate when I make that mistake.
visit ascseniorcare.com.
You're 12. What are you talking about?
Is this the year for that outdoor kitchen or maybe an in-ground pool? Or
Yeah, let's go with that.
trust the pros at JS Concrete. They'll take the time to
30
look at
seconds.
what you want, whether it's a patio, a pergola, an in-ground pool,
Heard.
or driveway. They can offer creative suggestions if needed or just create your vision. Either way, you'll be pleased with the outstanding service, knowledge, and creativity. Call JS Concrete today, 771-1301, 771-1301, or jsconcrete.com.
Indiana Roof and Exterior Cleaning safely cleans and seals your deck, concrete, or your home's exterior. Check out Indiana Roof and Exterior Cleaning Services at indianaexteriorcleaning.com.
Talk to Tony Katz. Call 800-571-9422 or 239-9393. This is Tony Katz Tonight.
You're in.
Oh, just let this play. Acoustic Layla. Paige, I'm proud of you.
Probably the best version, in my opinion. But
Oh, brilliant. From all the MTV Unplugged, this is the creme de la creme of all of them. It doesn't get any better than this. Kids, there used to be a time in history when MTV played music. It's true. It was fascinating. And sometimes they would do these things, crazy things called MTV Unplugged. Now, I think Nirvana did MTV Unplugged, and I kind of remember that. But this, Clapton, was out of control. Out of control. This is, I'm going to let it go for like 15 seconds. Turn it on.
Try to give you consolation. Your old man let you down.
So good. And this, just right here, how soft.
We ready?
Oh! All right, you can turn it off. So good. So good. Oh, are you singing along?
Oh, I am.
All right. So, I will say this. I have never been a big concert guy. Never in my life. The little interesting thing, the most concerts I've ever seen from one band, can you guess, Paige?
Kiss?
No, I've never seen Kiss in concert. I asked the chat room as well at TonyKatz.com. Band I've seen most live. I ask you out loud. Paige said Kiss. She is wrong. Eric Berman says Milli Vanilli. Close, but no. I have no idea if he said that. I absolutely made that up for Eric Berman. I'm asking the chat room if there's any there at TonyKatz.com/TonyKatz tonight. The answer is the Grateful Dead.
Oh, really?
Oh, yes.
I didn't take you as a Grateful Dead sort of guy.
Now, here's the interesting thing. I was never, ever...
You hate Jerry Garcia, don't you?
No, not at all. Not at all. I was never a progressive. I was never a Democrat. But I loved the Dead back in the day. When in my... saw a lot of shows. A lot of shows. Compton Terrace in Jersey and in D.C., Compton Terrace was in Arizona. No, it wasn't Hanson. Chat room. That's awesome.
Hanson, that was a great.
That's awesome. You should play Mbop. Could you just could you rock a little Mbop for everybody?
I do actually really like Mbop.
No, you don't. Do you really?
I do. Oh
wow.
Gosh. Are you kidding? Hanson is so overlooked. They're actually a really great band.
They're so overlooked.
I mean, this isn't their best stuff, but their later stuff is actually good.
Are they still a band?
Yeah, and they're popping kids out. I mean, their wives are popping kids out every which way.
Are they? What do you mean?
They have so many kids.
I'm like.
I feel like
I'm like Quagmire from. It's like Quagmire from Family Guy. What do you mean they're? What do you mean they're guys? What are you talking about? Did they make like real money doing this?
I would think so because they still put out albums.
They're still a band?
Yeah.
To this day?
Yes. Look them up.
All right.
Go to their MySpace page.
Their MySpace? You know who now owns MySpace?
Justin Timberlake.
Justin Timberlake. MySpace is going to become a major player in indie music. It's going to become, in many, many respects, a label. No question about it. By the way, we're the only show in America that can do election results and Hanson in the same hour.
That's right.
All right?
While the computer goes crazy.
I mean, that is amazing. But
How much do you want this to run?
Oh, no, you're done.
Okay.
But I mean, the Dead, if you've ever been to a Dead show, I mean, amongst the kerfuffle of the crowd, of the insanity of people like selling grilled cheese sandwiches and stuff, and some really bad smells. I mean, I've never been a fan of patchouli. Oh. It's better than what the people smell like, but it's still bad. The shows themselves were fantastic, terrific, fun time. I saw Eric Clapton in Israel.
Oh.
Open air arena. I can't remember the name of the place, though. I can't. I can picture exactly where I was. I can picture the group of people that I was with. Neely Schoenfeld in front of me, still a dear friend. I was 17. I was on a youth group trip, and in front of me, Clapton is playing. It was incredible.
How close to the stage were you?
Who cares? I was at a Clapton concert. End of list.
Sweat and it would hit you in the crowd.
What was that?
I said, did he wipe his sweat and it would hit you in the crowd?
True story. Eric Clapton doesn't sweat.
Oh.
He does not own sweat glands.
It must be Botox.
It comes out in his guitar.
That's right.
That's exactly how it works.
His guitar weeps.
So, but that was an incredible show. It was not my first show ever. My first show, embarrassingly enough, Thompson Twins. Thompson Twins. Garden State Arts Center, which is now PNC
Does
bank
Hold
center or
Me
something.
Now have a special place in your heart?
It does. It does. I can't, and only because I cannot remember another Thompson Twins song.
But that's the only one anyone knows. If anyone else can name one for me and we all go, oh, yeah, that song.
317-239-9393. Or hit up Paige on Twitter at @producer_Paige at 93WIBC. Yeah, I cannot remember another Thompson Twins song.
And you can't just look it up online and go, oh, but don't we all remember blah, 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 because that doesn't count. You have to actually truly remember it.
But Hold Me Now did not make your one-hit wonders, Paige.
No, I think it was on my... You don't like slow songs.
Well, that's true. But
So
I mean, if it was a one-hit wonder, it was a one-hit wonder.
Right, but I was keeping it upbeat because...
But no, Boston Randy, no. Play With Me is one of the lyrics from Hold Me Now in the chat room. King for One Day. What?
No one's heard. See, Boston Randy knows all the music, but the thing is none of the rest of us know it. Like, he knows it because he...
Play With Me is not. I don't think that's a song. I think that's a lyric from Hold Me Now.
Boston Randy on that. He knows his music. In fact, when I made a little mistake, he called and told me. We don't go into that.
Is he now the ombudsman of the show? Do we have one of those? We have one of those?
We need to go. You need to go, though.
All right, more ahead. This is Tony Katz tonight.
This Saturday, 70
Two
Indiana
kerfuffles.
World War II veterans
Be right
will fly
back.
free of charge to Washington, D.C. to see the memorial that they earned 7 decades ago. The World War II memorial was not dedicated until 2004. Those of us at Indy Honor Flight realize the importance of this trip to the men and women who proudly served our country so many years ago. You can be a part of this memorable day by coming out to the airport this Saturday, May 10th, around 8 p.m. Here's your opportunity to say welcome home and thank you to our nation's greatest generation. And we appreciate B&W Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning for helping us get this message out.
Hey, it's Big Joe for your trusted local independent American Standard Heating and Air Conditioning dealer, B&W Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning. One of the owners, Dave Machine, says it's important to be hands-on every day.
Matter of fact, we take a lot of pride in that to where we are the people that's on the phone talking to a lot of the customers. So when they call and they have a question or they just want to learn about something, then we're the ones that they're talking to, and people really appreciate that.
B&W Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning invites you to celebrate the indoors with Comfort Plus rebates this spring on American Standard air equipment. Get more info at IndyHomeComfort.com or call 243-3581.
Dad, can I have ice cream?
Ask your mother.
Dad, what's the square root of 452?
Ask your mother.
Dad, can I have new shoes?
Ask your mother.
You know it's true. The mom in your house is asked to do a lot, so thank her this year with a Mother's Day gift from Indy's own Distinctive Diamonds. The team at Distinctive Diamonds has put together an incredible selection of Mother's Day gift ideas, something for any budget. Maybe a piece of fashion jewelry from our designer collection, or a birthstone ring, an eternity band, or a beautiful pair of diamond earrings she can wear every day. Come to Distinctive Diamonds and let our experts help you find the perfect way to let the mother in your life know how much she's appreciated. And get 12 months no interest financing on any Mother's Day purchase.
Dad, can I have a baby brother?
Ask your mother.
Distinctive Diamonds, Mother's Day present for everything you asked Mom to do. Keystone at the crossing beside the David Wolf Green Bridge.
Ride with pain-free hips. Bloom with pain-free.
Yeah, the legal ID will play in
Talk with our orthopedic surgeons
about 20 seconds.
and get back to what you love with pain-free hips. Register at hendricks.org/joints. Travel with pain-free knees. Lead with pain-free knees. Talk with our orthopedic surgeons at a free seminar and get back to what you love with pain-free knees. Register at hendricks.org/joints.
From the Plumbing, Heating, Paramedic Studios,
This is Central Indiana's news, weather, and traffic station.
93 WIBC, Indianapolis.
Fox News Radio. I'm Ron Flatter. Prominent incumbents like House Speaker John Boehner have won primaries in Ohio, North Carolina, and Indiana. The vote in Indiana, though, was influenced too by a recent decision not to put a gay marriage ban on the ballot. Live in Washington, Fox News Radio's Rachel Sutherland.
Ron, voters in Indiana rejected 2 GOP lawmakers who fought to keep the ban off the ballot this November. State Representatives Rebecca Kubacki and Kathy Hewer were both defeated tonight. In North Carolina, a key race that could ultimately tip the balance of power in the U.S. Senate was just decided. Tom Tillis, who won the support of Mitt Romney, will take on incumbent Democratic Senator Kay Hagan this fall in a state that leans Republican. In Ohio, Ed Fitzgerald won the Democratic primary for governor, setting up a showdown with incumbent Republican John Kasich. Ron?
Rachel, after a call to have an even split of Democrats and Republicans, House Speaker John Boehner is recommending instead that 7 Republicans and 5 Democrats investigate the 2012 attack that killed 4 Americans in Benghazi, Libya. The House Rules Committee will discuss it tomorrow. Republicans on that same committee work tonight on the terms of a contempt citation against former taxwoman Lois Lerner over Democrats' objections.
We in Congress, sir, have a duty and an obligation to protect those sacred constitutional rights.
I agree.
And trampling them just because one happens to be a federal employee or a former federal employee, and an unpopular one at that, apparently, is not justified, Mr. Chairman.
Virginia Democrat Gerald Connolly and Texas Republican Pete Sessions, the committee chairman. Republicans are acting after Lerner would not answer questions last year about IRS targeting of conservative groups. Basketball's Miami Heat remained undefeated in this year's playoffs. They beat Brooklyn 107-86 to open their second-round series. Also today, Oklahoma City's Kevin Durant was named the NBA's most valuable player. You're listening to Fox News Radio. Fair and balanced.
I'm Alex Brown in the 93 WIBC 24-hour news center. Partly cloudy tonight and a low of 59. Tomorrow's high 82 degrees. The full forecast coming up after the news. Here's what's happening at 10:02. Voter turnout on this primary day was reportedly low, including in places like Fishers, where they've elected a new mayor and city council. 2nd District Congresswoman Jackie Walorski, who is unopposed for the Republican nomination in her district, says turnout was low in St. Joseph County.
I think it's very symptomatic of what people are feeling towards Washington, where, a lot of people have just checked out. They don't trust Washington. They don't trust, a lot of the big administration ticket items that have come down. And I think you see it reflected in these votes.
Walorski will face Democrat Joe Bach in November. 7th District Congressman Andre Carson has won the Democratic nomination for re-election in that district. Marlon Stutzman has won the Republican nomination in the 3rd District. And in the 9th District, Todd Young has won the Republican nomination as well. And Susan Brooks won the Republican nomination for the 5th District. Decatur Township School Superintendent Dr. Matt Prusecki says he's relieved that voters approved a referendum which creates an additional property tax to offset a budget shortfall for the district.
That stabilizes our property tax funds for now, for the 7-year period that the referendum's been approved. And we're looking forward to making the educational opportunity for our students even better.
He says the extra money will help finance transportation and their capital project fund. IMPD detectives are investigating a shooting which left 1 man in serious condition at Eskenazi Hospital. That man has not been identified. Now the forecast from the American Standard Cooling Weather Center.
Mild tonight, warm the next 2 days. Partly cloudy, 59 by morning, 82 the high tomorrow with a partly sunny sky, 84 and partly sunny Thursday. I'm RTV6 meteorologist Kevin Gregory.
It's 68 degrees at your official weather station. I'm Alex Brown, 93 WIBC News.
Take a guess at what's on sale from Unique Home Solutions in May.
Triple pane windows and gutters.
That's right.
We're working this time.
What else do you think's on sale in May?
How about solid core Statement siding and 50-year roofs?
Right again. But that's still not everything.
Sounds like it's easier to say what Unique doesn't have on sale in May.
Everything Unique sells is on sale in May for 25% off. It's Unique's annual spring whole house sale.
Including my favorite kitchen and bath makeovers.
Including kitchen and bath makeovers, too. And the 25% off includes labor.
Am I also right that you have free handyman service just for looking?
Right again. So take advantage of the whole house sale and call Unique.
Unique Home Solutions, 1-800-800-1971.
When you're told you have cancer, your world goes into free fall, and you're faced with a lot of questions. Dr. Peter Garrett, Medical Director at Franciscan St. Francis Health Cancer Center, encourages you to know your options.
As a physician, I want my patients to know they have choices, and it's so important you make the treatment decision that is right for you. That's why we created the Second Opinion Clinic, to make getting a second opinion easy. An accurate diagnosis is critical, and you need to make sure you're getting the latest and most advanced cancer treatment, including research trials and advanced surgical options, even when you're told you have no options.
Learn more at franciscanstfrancis.org/cancer or call 317-528-1420 to get a second opinion and discuss your cancer treatment options. Franciscan St. Francis Health, inspiring health.
Live from downtown Indianapolis and across the state, this is primary election night coverage on Network Indiana. Now, here is political reporter Eric Berman.
Most of the results are in, and we are beginning to see the winners and trends. Fishers does not have a new mayor yet. That won't happen until November, but that person is most likely to be town manager Scott Fadness, the first mayor in Fishers history as the town makes the transition to a city. He wins that seat by 5 points over former town council president Walt Kelly. Rebecca Kubacki, Kathy Hewer, and John Waterman were members of this year's General Assembly. They will not be part of next year's. Those are the 3 state legislators who appear to be going down to defeat today. Kubacki and Hewer voted against HJR 3 this year after voting for it last time around. They lost to conservative challengers Kurt Knisley and Christopher Judy. Waterman losing in a business-related race to Eric Bassler. This is Network Indiana.
When I look in the mirror, I see a hairdresser.
I see a normal student.
A mom.
A busy executive.
I never thought I'd see.
I'd see
A drug addict.
A drug addict.
I got the prescription pills from my doctor.
a guy on the street.
My brother's medicine cabinet.
A coworker.
They were to help with my recovery from surgery.
To help me fit in.
To help with stress.
To help me stay awake and make the big deadline.
But then, before I knew it,
1 wasn't enough.
2 weren't enough.
There weren't enough of them in the whole world.
More people abuse prescription medication than cocaine, heroin, hallucinogens, and inhalants combined. Prescription drugs are beneficial when used responsibly, but when abused, they can turn deadly. And every 25 minutes, someone dies from a prescription drug overdose. Get the facts and learn more about the dangers of prescription drug abuse at bitterpill.com.
I always wanted to make sure, especially after the injury, I had plenty of extras just in case anything.
We mentioned John Waterman losing his Senate seat. That was a 51-49 race. Eric Bassler winning a race that turned largely on business issues. The Indiana
Eric,
Chamber
I didn't know if I was
backing
going to be
Bassler in
interrupting.
that race. Also,
when I had the surgery, and I mean, went back to the hospital.
Several
the pain,
incumbents
it's
who
still
had
not
tough
right.
fights, but have survived. Bob Boehning keeping his seat.
I always made sure I
winning 58-42 over a challenge that he also faced 2 years ago.
It
Eric
got
Turner
painful
winning
again,
by a
which
similar
every now and then
margin
it does
against
flare up.
Marvin Gillum in a race that was made more noteworthy after the ethics
people who get addicted
that ended
because
last
they're just
week with the House Ethics Committee finding Turner had
they're
not
used to
violated
taking
any
2
rules.
every
Bob
every
Morris's
2 hours,
controversy was
whatever
2
it is,
years
and then
ago
when
up in
they
Fort
feel any
Wayne
kind of twinge.
when he issued a letter
Man,
criticizing the Girl Scouts. His primary challenge came this year. He has squeaked through 52 to 48%. A couple of the congressional challengers have been determined. Kat Ping will be the nominee in the 7th district against Andre Carson. In the 3rd district, an 88-vote win for Democrat Justin Coonley over Tommy Schrader, 35 to 33%. Coonley will face Republican incumbent Marlon Stutzman. All the congressional incumbents victorious tonight. We bring in our Network Indiana political analyst, Abdul Hakim Shabazz. So a tough night for incumbents. A tough night for incumbents in the state legislature in some districts. You've been going back and forth online with some folks over the HJR3 issue. We've said HJR3 had a record of 4-1. The supporters of that constitutional ban winning 4 of the races where that was theoretically at issue. Does this mean anything for that amendment next year or not?
Not necessarily. And part of the reason, Eric, is one of the things you have to understand is the person who brought the amendment forward was Eric Turner. And a lot of lawmakers they won't say this publicly, but privately, they are not very happy with Mr. Turner. I mean, even though he did win his primary challenge, they were upset because they had to have the ethics investigation. Some folks who voted to uphold, to not put in that moratorium on nursing homes, they had no idea Turner was going to be making potentially millions of dollars, and then Turner's been part of the family values crowd, so there are lots of different things in place. So, to say that HJR3 will survive and make it a comeback, not necessarily, because there were some people who opposed HJR3 who did just fine, because there are a number of other incumbents who either didn't get primary challenges or they survived their primary challenge, Jerry Tor being one of them.
We haven't talked a lot about Bob Boehning tonight. He faced the same opponent 2 years ago, won by 26 points. Tonight he won by 16. What's going on there? That sort of popped under the radar.
Popped under the radar, and I think part of it was that Mr. Boehning was caught sort of off guard by how much money and resources would be thrown at the last minute. But once again, Marion County Republican Party comes in and saves the day. And say what you will about the Republicans and Democrats in Marion County, they are organized and they know how to win.
This is Network Indiana.
Here we go.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Tony Katz Tonight.
You are in.
Tony Katz Tonight. Great to be with all of you. Election night in Indiana. A couple places across the country. 317-239-9393. Toll free 800-571-9422. We were talking about concerts before the break page, and now the chat room at TonyKatz.com.
It's a fun topic.
They are going to town on this. First of all, they are amazed and stunned, and some I think upset that I went to a bunch of Grateful Dead shows. I honestly don't listen anymore. Every now and then a song will be on the air and I'll be like, wow, it takes me back. No, but
I'm gonna go roll a doobie.
No. Wait, unless you got something. But those were good times. And now they're talking about bands that they'd like to see. But I don't remember the Dead concerts as boring. So if you guys in the chat room want to keep up
you
the
remember them, right?
Yeah, exactly. But if you want to keep up the greatest concert kerfuffle, you go right ahead. I have a bigger subject to get to, but I'm gonna hold off a little bit because we started with a conversation yesterday, and the podcast is up at TonyKatz.com. We started with a conversation yesterday about the concept of contempt. And the idea that what we're seeing so much in our politics, whether it's the IRS, whether it's the NSA, whether it's Benghazi, I'll give you those three as examples. When questioned on those things, Democrats have contempt for those people asking the question. They can't believe that someone would dare ask about Benghazi as if it somehow matters. They can't believe someone dare ask about the IRS targeting American citizens. Because that's in the past. That's not happening anymore, except we're not so sure what's happening. And don't we want to bring to justice the people who clearly broke the law, targeting American citizens for what they think? And the NSA, don't we want to say that in the choice between security and liberty, if I have to give up liberty for security, I say no. And many Americans are with me, that there is no trade-off regarding security versus liberty, because the TSA, the government, what have you, cannot keep me safe. I have to keep me safe. Now, it doesn't mean that they don't do, in some areas, a very good job. It doesn't mean that I don't want to have a military. It doesn't mean any of those things. It means that I don't believe in torturing American citizens a la the TSA. Every single time I go through an airport, I do not go through the scanner. I stand there, and I can't even put this arm all the way out anymore. I stand there, and I put the arms out and let them feel me up. And I don't say a word, not a thank you, nothing. Because it's an attack, it's an assault on the American people. People try and attack us, so we torture ourselves. That's the TSA. The NSA. The whole idea that we're going to have people listen to us in order to protect us? No, it's nonsense. They have to capture every phone call and then keep it recorded? No, it's nonsense. But if you bring it up, they will look at you and speak to you with contempt. It's a big conversation yesterday. But when I came across the story here in California, where I broadcast from, for now, about Rialto Unified School District handing out assignments that ask students to create a counterclaim, create a rebuttal to the idea that the Holocaust existed. That some people claim the Holocaust is not an actual event, but instead a propaganda tool that was used for political and monetary gain. The assignment asked students to explain whether they believe the Holocaust was an actual event in history or merely a political scheme created to gain public emotion, to influence public emotion and gain. I said something about that connects with the whole contempt conversation. Because in both of these conversations, it's not about what's on the surface, it's about what's underneath. When we come back, I'm going to talk about this this story out of Rialto, Unified School District. And what we're seeing is not a story about Common Core and not a story about Holocaust denial per se. What we're seeing is a story about revisionism, where we are trying to teach kids that evil is only evil depending on how you look at it. It's the most dangerous thing I can think of. More ahead. This is Tony Katz Tonight.
You got a lot of things to remember in the morning.
Has anyone seen my keys?
I didn't think it mattered when we broke.
Oh, there's my keys.
I mean, I guess not, but a little. Depending on how much time you want in the second segment.
Good morning.
Good
That was 1 minute.
Begin with good information.
Heavy your traffic now building.
Traffic and weather together on the 5s.
Then the cold front is going to come.
And everything else you need to know in between on Indy's Morning News. 93 WIBC and WIBC.com.
Are you tired of painting your home every 3 to 5 years? Then stop painting forever. Hi, this is Jeff Pigeon. Thousands of Hoosier Permanent Coating customers have been extremely satisfied with our permanent solution to painting your home. Hoosier Permanent Coatings has a smart permanent coating system that lasts forever, and it's safe on the environment. A trusted award-winning
So Twitter wants to know if I had my own tickets or I asked people to miracle me.
And it's transferable too. A satisfaction and a money-back guarantee accompanies our Better Business Bureau Ethics Award. So if your home needs painting, you give Hoosier Permanent Coatings a call today at 8883-HOOSIER. That's 8883-HOOSIER, or visit IHatePainting.com. Call right now and find out how to get a $300 gift certificate with
B. Williams, I don't think I would be hurt.
8883-HOOSIER, or visit IHatePainting.com.
I was never up front.
Hoosier Permanent Coating.
If you're having trouble with your hearing, you need to listen to this story from Eunice about sound hearing.
I had heard Dick Crum continually praise Seaman hearing aids, and I knew I was in the position that I needed to do something. I had heard.
Oh, wait, what was the name of that show?
All kinds, but I didn't hear anything derogatory about Seaman. Everyone that had them was very pleased.
And Eunice, did Bill Lucas take care of you?
He's always so courteous, so receptive, so cooperative, and wanting to please and help in any way he can.
Now, you've had your hearing aids for a while now. What do you think?
Felt like I hit the lottery.
Oh, that is a show I went to. I forgot.
Folks, now's the time to call Bill Lucas at Sound Hearing Care and get 2 hearing aids for the price of 1. This is a limited offer, so call now.
I forgot I went to that show.
786-2604. And as Dick Crum says,
get the Bill at Sound Hearing. You'll wonder why you waited so long.
Indianapolis. Go to MeridianMortgageSolutions.net and save hundreds each month and thousands.
The mighty Casey.
Only Meridian Mortgage Solutions offers you.
Hey, they wrote it on the Berlin Wall.
And no payments till summer. Purchase or refinance.
How does Holocaust revisionism have any credibility at all?
968-9500.
Well, it doesn't, but that's not. Let me go through it, and I'll do my best to explain it well.
Equal housing lender. See letter for restrictions and details. NMLS number 2975.
Garage door problems? Call today for service today. Garage Doors of Indianapolis has been solving garage door problems for 33 years. Call today for service today. 875-4577. Garage Doors of Indianapolis services all makes of garage doors 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Call today for service today. Get it fixed right now. Call Garage Doors of Indianapolis at 875-4577 or visit doorstoday.com.
In the morning, call 875-45.
I don't know why I like this commercial so much.
Tim Shooting Academy in West.
It's his bass voice.
To the public,
Is that it?
15 lanes,
It is.
state-of-the-art ventilation, and a full-service store, satisfying all shooting needs.
When you meet Mark, we'll have him sing you some bass.
I'm Gary.
Does he sing bass?
He does.
Really?
News you need to get ahead.
Is that why he won out over Katie?
Weekdays at 6:40 a.m. and 5:35 p.m.
Anyone wins out over Katie.
Oh yeah, that's true. Sure.
This is Tony Katz Tonight.
Man, the broadcast
Follow
seems
Tony on
very
Twitter
off
at
today.
Tony Katz.
Video seems bad. It's just
Very.
me. I was just saying our live stream there at TonyKatz.com seems off. That's bothering me. But let me get into this before I play with the whole video kerfuffle here thing going on. How these things connect. I'm telling the story of reading the story about Rialto Unified School District, and I have the article up at rare.us, where I am a contributor. So the 8th grade assignment has students writing an essay to challenge the veracity of the Holocaust. They claim that it's about critical thinking, but it is absolutely not. It's about chipping away at the concept of truth over lies, of evil over good. It should be lies over truth. I think that got edited wrong. Of evil over good until the bad and the unjust are victorious. So this lesson that they had said, when tragic events occur in history, there is often debate about their actual existence. Which, first of all, is there? Can you name for me a tragic debate, a tragic event that gets debated? For example, slavery. Tragic. Do we debate it? The shuttle Challenger explosion. Tragic event. Do we debate it? The Spanish Inquisition. Tragic event. Do we debate it? Tell me now what tragic events we debate. But this is how the assignment reads. When tragic events occur in history, there is often debate about their actual existence. For example, some people claim the Holocaust is not an actual historical event, but instead is a propaganda tool that was used for political and monetary gain. We continue. The assignment then asks students to explain whether they believe the Holocaust was an actual event in history or merely a political scheme created to influence public emotion. Once the assignment was made public, the movement on the part of Rialto was actually rather swift. The interim superintendent, his name is Mohammed Islam. I kid you not. Mohammed Z. Islam is his name. He says that he was set to talk with administrators to assure that any references to the Holocaust not occurring will be stricken on any current or future argumentative research assignments. A statement from the district spokeswoman, Sayeda Jaffrey, read. Now, a lot of people quickly, very, very quickly, and I think incorrectly, took to blaming Common Core, which promotes the concept of critical thinking, which is what this assignment was allegedly about. Now, here is one of the board members of the Rialto Unified District. His name's Joe Martinez. This is his quote. I put it in full there at rare.us. It's in the chat room as well at TonyKatz.com. One of the most important responsibilities for educators is to develop critical thinking skills in students. This will allow a person to come to their own conclusion. Current events are part of the basis for measuring IQ. The Middle East, Israel, Palestine, and the Holocaust are on newscasts discussing current events. Teaching how to come to your own conclusion based on the facts. Test your position. Be able to articulate that position. Then defend your belief with a lucid argument is essential to good citizenship. This thought process creates the foundation for a good education. The progression is within district board policy and also supports the district's student-inspired motto, today's scholars, tomorrow's leaders. Now, to say that critical thinking will allow a person to come to their own conclusion is a tragic statement. Because if you come to me and say, I have looked at this data and the Holocaust didn't happen, you have come to your own conclusion, but you are also wrong. So shouldn't the objective of the school board be that students come to the right conclusion? Because we're talking about historical fact, we're not talking about what you want to wear that day. We're not talking about what you want to do as a career. We're not talking about your interpretation of a sonnet, a work of Shakespeare, a poem from Walt Whitman. We are talking about history, which happened and we have constant and continual record of. We have interviewed these people. You want me to share my own stories? My family stories? I don't mind, but you don't need them. Doesn't make it more valid. The fact that it happened is what makes it valid, but according to Joe Martinez, school board, the part of the Rialto school board, teaching how to come to your own conclusion based on the facts, test your position, be able to articulate that position, then defend your belief with a lucid argument is essential to good citizenship. But if your thesis is wrong, if your belief is wrong, your conclusion is wrong, how in the world does any of the rest of it matter? You're saying that even if they are wrong, as long as they can lucidly explain why they're wrong, it's okay. That's Common Core at its worst. That's obscene. Now, school board members in Rialto have received death threats, which is ignorant and beneath contempt. But this is not critical thinking that they're supporting. This is implementing the idea that what we know is indecent and unacceptable. What we know is evil and hateful. What we know is disgusting and despicable should be up for debate. That we know the Holocaust is, but yet we should still be debating it. We don't debate slavery. We don't debate the Inquisition. We're debating the Holocaust. It happens all the time. We debate all the things in history to see if they really happened. To debate the Holocaust, to say that it is a political scheme created to influence public emotion and gain, who debates that? The answer is those with a vested financial and ideological interest in creating doubt amongst truth. The assignment says some people claim the Holocaust is a propaganda tool. Well, why not name them? For example, the former Iranian president Mahmoud Ahmadinejad, Hamas leaders who refused to let the UN teach the subject of the Holocaust in Gaza schools, and Syrian President Bashar al-Assad, who denies the Holocaust while engaging in his own style of death and destruction in Syria. Did it ever occur to this board member, Joe Martinez, to share with the other students who the other critical thinkers are? Or are they all critical thinkers who also favor the wholesale extermination of Jews the world over? Is that just some kind of interesting coincidence amongst the critical thinkers that I've mentioned? I've got more on this when we return. This is Tony Katz Tonight.
This hour is powered by Indiana Roof and Exterior Cleaning. IndianaExteriorCleaning.com.
It's time to breathe better, Indy. Franciscan St. Francis Health, the American Lung Association, and Emmis Communications are on a mission to help Central Indiana Hoosiers improve their lung health.
May
my
is
article.
Asthma Awareness
Month.
Approximately 1 in 11 adults in Indiana
Did they take out the main point?
diagnosed with asthma. If you live with asthma, you know how important it is to follow your action plan and avoid triggers like tobacco smoke, pollen, or even pet dander,
I don't like
so that
when they
asthma attacks don't take
around.
control of your life. Unfortunately, many people with severe asthma struggle, even with medications. Franciscan St. Francis Health now offers bronchial thermoplasty, a new non-drug outpatient procedure for adults whose severe asthma is not well controlled with medications. Bronchial thermoplasty can provide long-lasting relief, reduce attacks, and help you take control of your asthma.
Asthma should not stop anyone from leading an active, healthy life. Go to breathebetterindy.com or call 877-751-LUNG for more information.
Jenny, where do you see yourself in 5 years?
I feel like I'm in a bad job interview, BJ. What kind of question is that?
Exactly. Nobody knows. Life is a journey, right?
Yes.
And that journey is the point, not the destination.
Yes. And?
That's the inspiration behind our new compass necklace.
I've seen that. It's beautiful.
It's a striking round compass design with a diamond right in the center. Perfect for someone who's been walking by your side through life's journey.
A compass guiding your way through life together. I love it.
A gift so heartfelt, we've made it in several different sizes and combinations, so you can choose the one that you like the best. And they're priced from just $295.
Paige, when I am in Indiana on Thursday, I have a great story for you.
Come see all of the compass.
I do love a good story.
Exclusively at Reese Nichols Jewelers, north across from Keystone at the Crossing.
Is it about how I'm
Paige,
getting promoted?
You don't have you will not believe how great this story
What I
is.
expect is a place that gives me access to some of the best and brightest. Respects my time. Doesn't poke or prod me more than necessary. What I expect is Riverview Health.
Riverview Hospital is now Riverview Health. Right size, right care. Right here. Located in Noblesville, Carmel, Cicero, Fishers, Sheridan, Tipton, and Westfield. To learn more, visit riverview.org.
Springtime in Indy, and after a brutal winter, listen to your neighbor Doug about Rhino Shield.
Having to walk home is fairly high maintenance. You know, it was getting to be a lot of work for me to coat it and seal it every 4 or 5 years and so
How
forth.
awesome it is.
To a point where I don't want to be climbing all over that thing.
Oh, I got my swag, by the way. Thanks.
It's Rhino
Oh,
Shield.
you're welcome.
It's not.
It took me a good 2 minutes to figure out which mailbox was mine.
The outside now looks good, and
They had it shoved in such a way that I didn't notice it, so I'm like sitting there scanning going, I put it
there.
I think someone stole my swag.
I put it there.
off the regular price.
I was real pleased with
So that was me.
They would start
Now I know I have a mailbox.
and work till dark. When they came to do it,
Yes, you
they
do.
came to get her done.
Here's owner Jim
That
Williams.
may
of
from
Rhino
time to
Shield.
time have
Offer's
stuff in it.
limited, so hurry. Call me at 888.
As long as it's not like in St. Louis where everybody put their trash in my box.
Why did that happen?
Couldn't be more pleased.
They just did. Like anything people didn't want. Like I got this random book of ghost stories that happened in Missouri.
Persons needed for dental
Like people would just hand me, like, put their crap in my box. And I was always like, why my box?
generally healthy
That's
mouth
weird.
and want to become a part of a panel of persons periodically called to
Man,
participate in
I don't know,
studies
every
to
now
test
and then
dental
it acts
products.
up.
Potential
It's just
panelists will
running
be
a little
paid $25 cash for attending a screening visit,
Staccato.
whether they
Am I
qualify
running
or
any
not.
other
Once
programs I'm not
qualified,
supposed to
panelists participating in future dental studies will be paid for their participation, generally $100 for every hour test day.
Well, that could have done
To
it.
learn more about how to be a part of the dental
1 minute.
panel, please call 317-274-3740
That could have totally done it. I don't know if it'll kind of
and ask to speak with a representative of the
correct
Palatal
itself.
Appliance Panel, or email us
'cause the
at
CPUs are just through the roof.
ds-ohri@iu.edu.
That might take
That's
a second to
274-3740,
kind of back out.
274-3740, or ds-ohri@iu.edu.
At Menards, you get the
it's
lowest
gone.
prices every day, plus sales too. Now during our Menard Days sale, save big on a great selection of lawn and garden supplies. Take the clutter out of your garage, porch, or basement with outdoor metal storage buildings by Aero. They're perfect for storing tools, games, patio furniture, and more. Save big on the 10 by 8 foot Hamlet metal storage building by Aero. On sale now for just $264.
Save big money at Menards.
Play 500 trivia to win passes to Poll Day and qualify for free tickets to the 98th running of the Indianapolis 500. Learn more at WIBC.com. This is Tony Katz Tonight. Follow Tony on Twitter at Tony Katz.
You're in.
So, this whole conversation about what they're doing with an 8th grade class in California, where they were given an assignment to explain whether they, quote, believe the Holocaust was an actual event in history or merely a political scheme created to influence public emotion and gain. That they posed it in this way. When tragic events occur in history, there is often debate about their actual existence. For example, some people claim the Holocaust is not an actual historical event, but instead a propaganda tool that was used for political and monetary gain. There is often debate about their actual existence. Show me where. 317-239-9393, toll free 800-571-9422. Show me where there is this debate about the actual existence. Show me what historical events are actually debated. The people who debate them have a vested financial or ideological interest in creating doubt amongst the truth. When you have board members like Joe Martinez there in Rialto, who thinks that these critical thinking skills allows a person to come to their own conclusion. What if the conclusion is wrong? One of the reasons I'm not a moderate, I can't stand the term moderate. It is nonsense. The people who say, well, you know, I really see both sides of an issue. Well, that's terrific. What am I, a schmuck? I see both sides of the issue too. And you know what? Very often, one side is right and one side is wrong. What's wrong with that? What's wrong with saying that? There's a side that's right and there's a side that's wrong. And the side that doesn't believe in history is wrong. And it's not all history. It's this specific thing. It's interesting. I think that there is stuff you can debate. I think that there are things that can be debated. You could debate the number of those killed in the Holocaust. I think you could debate that number all you wish. Go ahead. Debate it till the cows come home. I'm not telling you you can't have a conversation. You can debate the long-term political and economic ramifications to Germany. Should Germany still have to feel guilty? Should Germans today have to feel guilty? I have friends who go to Germany on a regular basis, and they say they're traumatized as a nation very much. Is that what we want? It's like what we talk about the South. We talk about voting rights and how a part of the Voting Rights Act that basically punished the South has been swept away. Do we punish the South forever? For the sins of the past? It is a question, a debatable one. Go to it. The existence of the Holocaust? That's the debatable question? If it's about critical thinking, and I've already gone through the critical thinkers, right? The same critical thinkers who deny the Holocaust, Iranian President Mahmoud Ahmadinejad, the former president, Hamas, Syrian President Bashar al-Assad. All deniers, all guys engaged in critical thinking. Or are they, as I say, as I wrote at rare.us, critical thinkers who also favor the wholesale extermination of Jews the world over? Is that just simply an odd coincidence, or is it more likely, at least, that Holocaust denial is a subversive way to foment anti-Jewish hate and resentment, thus making their cause one that is categorically dominated by killing Jews, one that is more acceptable? I'm just asking, man. It's just a debate. If Joe Martinez, this board member, is representative of the Rialto Unified School Board, then no parent who actually cares about their children should send their kids to a Rialto school. Not a one. But I said in the beginning, people are saying that this is a problem with Common Core because Common Core is what really promotes this concept of critical thinking. That's a knee-jerk reaction. That isn't to say that Common Core isn't the problem. It is. Its ardent supporters clearly have never engaged any critical thinking whatsoever. That includes Michelle Rhee, so disappointed in Michelle Rhee, and that includes Jeb Bush. They're wrong. I'm happy to debate them on that subject as well. The assignment isn't about Common Core. That's where the mistake is happening. The assignment is about revisionist history. It's about the idea that nothing is evil if you put it in context. By stating in the assignment that some people claim the Holocaust is not an actual historical event, the school gives credence to the idea that the Holocaust is not an actual historical event, and that's a lie. The Holocaust happened. The Holocaust was real. 13 million dead souls, Jews, gays, gypsies, countless innocents, Germans, and Poles and others. Any other presentation of the Holocaust than real is a lie. I didn't say you couldn't debate all the things you want to debate, but that the Holocaust didn't happen is a lie. Rialto, the school district, promoted revisionist history in this assignment. They willingly lied to their 12 and 13-year-old students in the name of education and critical thinking. Fire the superintendent, fire the teacher, fire the school board, starting with Joe Martinez. People are so desperate to blame the thing that they're already unhappy with that they don't spend enough time, Paige, taking a look at the subject at hand. They're so focused on the kerfuffle in front of them that they can't figure out how to focus on the subject at hand. They're all on Common Core. Everybody's on Common Core. Everybody's talking about Common Core. Everyone's upset with Common Core. Oh, this somehow tangentially applies to Common Core. Common Core is the problem. It's not. Common Core is a problem, but in this situation, it's not the problem. It's not. It is this. If you haven't read Evan Sayet's book, The Kindergarten of Eden, yeah, you have to. It's this constant push of evil over good. That is what we're talking about. That they can create a conversation not based on fact, but based on the desires of those people who want it to be. Ideology over truth, ideology over decency, ideology over common sense and reality. Go back to the start. When tragic events occur in history, there is often debate about their actual existence. Is there any debate about the plague? Paige, I'm asking. I'm a curious man.
Not that I'm aware of.
Give me a debate. Is there debate that when people traveled the oceans and came to the Americas, is there any debate that they passed on germs to the people, the indigenous people of America, to the Native Americans, killing them by the thousands? Is there any debate? There's no. What are they talking about? So they invented a line which the kids now take as de facto. Oh, it must be because there it is. Therefore, it's okay because that's what happens in history. Show me. Do we debate history? Like could be a conversation? No, the battle didn't happen this way. The battle happened that way. Yeah, that could happen. Do we debate whether or not the battle happened? Well, you'd have to have a lot of proof that the battle didn't happen. But we know the Holocaust happened. So where's the debate? Where is the debate about the actual historical event? Go on. Try. Right here, right now, 317-239-9393. This is Tony Katz Tonight.
Deteriorating situation in Ukraine.
Another news update is just minutes away.
Benghazi. If the Democrats boycott it or don't take part in it, it just shows that they either have something to hide.
To subpoenaing the secretary?
Get the facts.
97% of scientists agree that climate change is real. It's happening.
Not just the talking points.
Republican critics call the forthcoming report alarmist and an excuse to overregulate.
On the level, on the go. 93 WIBC and WIBC.com.
What happens when you transform the Indianapolis Motor Speedway's world-famous oval into a 2.4-mile road course with 14 heart-pounding turns? Then unleash your favorite Indianapolis 500 drivers. You get the inaugural Grand Prix of Indianapolis, Saturday, May 10th, with tickets starting at only $25 at IMS.com. This is unlike anything you've seen before. More high-speed passing, more thrilling battles, more intense rivalries between drivers like Castroneves, Canaan, Dixon, Andretti, Montoya, and more. Here's to glory, adrenaline, and flat-out speed. Here's to a new tradition. Here's to your new stories to tell.
All right.
Witness the Verizon IndyCar Series first ever Grand Prix of Indianapolis, Saturday, May 10th. Tickets start at only $25. Get yours at IMS.com. But hurry, because they're going fast.
Are you tired of painting your home every 3 to 5 years? Then stop painting forever. Hi, this is Jeff Pigeon. Thousands of Hoosier permanent coating customers have been extremely satisfied with our permanent solution to painting your home. Hoosier Permanent Coatings has a smart permanent coating system that lasts forever, and it's safe on the environment. A trusted award-winning family business for over 10 years, we provide a warranty on our work forever, and it's transferable too. A satisfaction and a money-back guarantee accompanies our Better Business Bureau Ethics Award. So if your home needs painting, you give Hoosier Permanent Coatings a call today at 8883-HOOSIER. That's 8883-HOOSIER, or visit IHatePainting.com. Call right now and find out how to get a $300 gift certificate with your first meeting. Call 8883-HOOSIER or visit IHatePainting.com. Hoosier Permanent Coatings.
So I'm here to tell you about an amazing new acne treatment that even Proactive says is better than Proactive. It's called Proactive Plus. It's totally new, totally advanced, and it even looks different. You know, millions of people have turned to Proactive, and it's the #1 name in acne care. But Proactive Plus, it works faster and better than before, and it's better for your skin, too. Proactive Plus is their best, most effective solution ever. The plus means more. You get more medicine to heal blemishes and prevent breakouts, plus more solutions to acne problems like dark marks, dryness, redness, and oil. So if your goal is a flawless complexion, call 1-800-689-6745. Be one of the first to try Proactive Plus 100% risk-free. Get fantastic results, or you pay nothing guaranteed. All of today's callers will also get 2 free gifts with their 60-day risk-free trial. So the number is 1-800-689-6745, 1-800-689-6745.
Hey, Joe, didn't you just sell some of your guns?
Yeah, to Premier Arms in Brownsburg.
Well, I need some cash, fast.
Just take your guns to Premier Arms like I did. The guys at Premier Arms really took good care of me. They actually paid me more than I thought I would get.
So what guns do they buy?
All types. I sold Dad's old GI-45 and an AR-15 as well as a shotgun and revolver.
Premier Arms on East Main Street in Brownsburg, or call them at 858-3030 or online at premierarms.com.
Indiana Roof and Exterior Cleaning eliminates ugly black roof stains and safely cleans all types of exteriors. Find them at indianaexteriorcleaning.com. Get clean with Indiana Roof and Exterior Cleaning.
You're listening to Tony Katz Tonight. To talk to Tony, call 239-9393.
You're in.
Jason on Twitter at Jason Reber. That would be like saying slavery never happened. It was made up for liberals to get votes. Talking about what I'm discussing there on people who want to say the Holocaust didn't happen. You want to debate parts? You want to debate numbers? Go right ahead. You know, I always said that to people who were 9/11 truthers. You want to go about proving 9/11 was an inside job? Knock yourself out. Go crazy. You know what they're not denying? That it happened. They're not denying that the buildings no longer exist. Okay? That part we're all on the same page on. Were buildings no longer buildings? They want to say it was done by the government. I'm not with them. When you tell me that you know, like Rosie O'Donnell, it's the first time in history fire ever melted steel. Actually, it's the only thing that has ever melted steel. Let me go to Greg on line 2. Greg, welcome to Tony Katz Tonight. What's up, Greg?
How are you doing this evening?
You tell me. How am I doing?
I was just calling to make a point about that Common Core issue with them trying to pound that nonsense into the children's head.
Right.
Why is there a Holocaust museum in Washington, D.C.? Apparently they have never been there if it's such a hoax.
Well, see, what they're saying is they're not. The school district did something a lot more insidious. They're not saying it didn't happen. What they're saying is that people say. What they're saying is that people say that it was actually a propaganda tool. See, some people claim that. And why? Because when tragic events occur in history, there's often a debate about their actual existence. So they're not saying it didn't happen. They're saying that the intellectuals often debate these things. You do want to be an intellectual now, don't you? You do.
Absolutely.
You do. You want to be in the club with all the smart people. You want to get into college. You'll answer this question right. So the idea that there is a Holocaust museum in Washington, D.C. is not what they're saying. They're not denying that. And I appreciate the phone call. They are doing something far more insidious, which is giving credence to the idea that to say something in history didn't happen is absolutely acceptable. Charles, line 3, welcome to Tony Katz tonight. What's up, Charles?
Yeah, it's always enjoying the show. God bless you. You were talking about interpretations of what took place and what didn't. Probably two good examples: Custer's Last Stand and the Battle of the Alamo. Depending on who's got what historical journal and this, that, and another. My favorite still probably would be the Alamo, where they claimed toward the end Davy Crockett got wounded so bad that he knew he couldn't escape. So supposedly he dressed up as a woman and tried to get out, and they caught him and hiding in a wagon. Now, I might be wrong, but if a guy's about as 6'6" as he was, and they were stuck in that place for 13 days, I think he wouldn't have looked any closer to a woman or whatever, but yet some historians would rather have it in that way than him still busting heads like Fez Parker did back in the old TV series and whatever.
And I think that I will leave you as my Alamo expert. I would never claim to be one, but the conversation again goes to the idea that you're discussing a specific moment within the siege, and you're not discussing that it took place. Right? That's the differentiator.
Holocaust thing, for example, when some Germans at the Nuremberg trial said actually what that was a flea powder dusting that was used on the prisoners and stuff. And Joseph Mengele, even supposedly in his, the death angel, as they used to call him, he claimed a lot of those people asked for that because they weren't taking care of themselves. I mean, that was the kind of, in their minds, that's how they wrote this stuff off. But you'll still get some fanatics that doesn't believe any of that.
The point is, though, the point that I would make, Charles, and I wouldn't disagree that there are some fanatics, is that they are indeed fanatics. Are we now the people entrusting school boards to agree with and promote that level of fanaticism in which history is no longer history? Again, I am not discussing, and I appreciate the call in any way, shape, or form, if somebody wants to debate a specific. You go right ahead. I don't get to decide that for you. That would be as improper of me as anything I can think of. I may disagree with you, but I have absolutely no right to tell you that you can't debate it. That's crazy talk. We're talking about the actual events. Let's go back to what they say. This lesson that 8th graders got. When tragic events occur in history, there is often a debate, or there is often debate about their actual existence. For example, some people claim the Holocaust is not an actual historical event, but instead a propaganda tool that was used for political and monetary gain. They are saying that it is okay to believe that the Holocaust never happened. Is that what a taxpayer pays for? That there should be a total, that we should lie to 8th graders? And by the way, the whole monetary gain, well, that's the nice pushing of the Jewish stereotype. Can I tell you, Paige, what I wouldn't give to be in control of the media and have access to the vault with all the Jew gold?
Let's be honest. What you wouldn't give to be in control of everything.
I mean, come on. Listen to the idea. They control the media. They control the U.S. government. They control the monetary supply. All I'm looking for is my share. That's it. That's all I'm looking for.
Now like a 99%er. You want your share.
Yeah. Oh, totally. Totally, I'm a 99%er on this one. But they're the ones who are saying it. They're the ones putting it out there. All I'm saying is, if it's true, where is mine? That's all I'm asking for, Paige. Where's mine? I mean, I'm on a list, right? I mean, I can prove that I'm Jewish anytime I want. So where is it? People want to. I mean, the whole idea is just madness. Chuck, line 2. Welcome to Tony Katz tonight. What's up, Chuck? What's up, Chuck?
Hi, how are you?
I'm all right, sir. What's going on?
And actually, it's Jeff. But listen.
Oh, Jeff. Sorry about that.
It's okay, Miss Katz. Listen, first-time listener, first-time caller, and you really touched me on my way back. I lived down here at Lake Lemon. I was making a slow drive down. Listen to your show, and I want to tell you something. As a Christian, and you're a Jewish fellow,
I am.
I want to know what, and I every night I pray and everything for Israel because I do fear God and I know who my master is, and I want to ask something. I was always taught, in the religion, and not to make it a religious show, but
quickly
that the originally Ishmael and Isaac, the two sons, and you would have. Is that actually how the Muslims started with Ishmael, and your sons and offspring will be just as the stars, and then of course we know what happened to Jacob and Isaac and everything else. But is that how it started and everything?
Man, you are asking the Dennis Prager question. I'm up against the break. I will discuss it when we return. Keep it here, everybody. I will get all biblical. This is Tony Katz tonight.
Pat Sullivan here with a spring home improvement tip. You wouldn't go a year without cleaning the inside of your house, so why are you waiting to clean the exterior of your home? You may not even realize how dirty things are out there. Take a look at your roof for those ugly black roof stains. Look at the exterior walls. Check out your gutters and your concrete. Look at how winter has weathered your wood deck. Then call the guys I rely on, Indiana Roof and Exterior Cleaning. They'll come out, inspect everything, and give you a free estimate. They'll safely clean your roof, the exterior of your home, concrete, even your gutters. Indiana Roof and Exterior Cleaning safely cleans and seals concrete patios and driveways, wood decks. They do power washing. They eliminate those ugly black roof stains and much more. Check out all their services at IndianaExteriorCleaning.com. Get clean with Indiana Roof and Exterior Cleaning. See more at IndianaExteriorCleaning.com. Give them a call at 771-4660. That's 771-4660 or IndianaExteriorCleaning.com.
It's gardening time again, and Tuttle Orchards has a large selection of flowers and vegetable plants for you to choose from. Over 90% of Tuttle's plants are grown at the orchard, so you get top-quality plants grown right there at the orchard and a staff with lots of gardening knowledge to help and assist you. Visit Tuttle Orchards for hanging baskets for Mother's Day. Tuttle's hanging baskets are homegrown right at the orchard, and they are beautiful. The size, stunning plant combinations, and low price will make you and your mom say wow. You'll want to pick up some for yourself, too. Tuttle's has a vast selection of vegetable plants, too, so don't forget to grab some. During your visit, step into Tuttle Farm Store to find a large selection of local and gourmet food items. Check out Tuttle Expanded Meat Department featuring beef, pork, lamb, and bison from Indiana farmers. Visit TuttleOrchards.com for hours and directions, and make plans to explore Tuttle Orchards on Indy's Far East Side. That's Tuttle Orchards, growing quality, harvesting memories, year-round.
Caring people make the difference. You can feel it the minute you walk into American Senior Communities. Experts at senior health care, not just doing a job, but following a calling. They're here to help you and your family find answers, solutions, and peace of mind. In fact, they become an extension of your family. For more information about American Senior Communities, visit ascseniorcare.com. That's ascseniorcare.com.
This hour powered by the Bill Estes Ford Cash for Junker sale from the Plumbing, Heating, Paramedic Studios.
This is Central Indiana's news, weather, and traffic station.
93 WIBC, Indianapolis.
Fox News Radio. I'm Ron Flatter. Conservatives sent a clear message in some key primary votes today, with one candidate endorsed by Mitt Romney and Jeb Bush winning the Republican nomination in North Carolina to challenge an incumbent Democratic senator. Tom Tillis will face Kay Hagan.
She's got trouble, and the Republican primary really captures it marvelously. Tillis, the House Speaker in North Carolina, has been backed sort of by the establishment. Lots of money. Super PACs playing out very aggressively in this race.
Fox's Carl Cameron in Washington. In Indiana, 2 of 3 Republican incumbents lost their bids to stay in the state House after they voted with Democrats to keep a gay marriage ban off the ballot. In Ohio, County Executive Ed Fitzgerald was nominated by Democrats to face Republican Governor John Kasich this fall. Former taxwoman Lois Lerner is expected to be the subject of a contempt vote tomorrow in the House. That's after the Rules Committee voted 8-3 tonight to recommend it, even though Democrats begged to differ with the Republican conclusion that the Internal Revenue Service leaned harder on conservative groups.
My understanding, Mr. Issa, is that they treated everybody pretty much the same way. It was not just...
You couldn't be more wrong. You couldn't be more wrong.
Democrat Louise McIntosh Slaughter and Republican Darrell Issa. Lerner is the former supervisor who refused to answer Congress's questions about whether the IRS had different standards for conservative organizations. House Speaker John Boehner wants 7 Republicans and 5 Democrats to make up the Select Committee to investigate the 2012 attack on Americans in Benghazi.
Our belief remains that there's little evidence that a Select Committee is going to be a legitimate vehicle for congressional oversight.
Jen Psaki at the State Department, where Secretary John Kerry nevertheless says he will cooperate with Congress. The House Rules Committee will act tomorrow on Boehner's recommendation. You're listening to Fox News Radio, fair and balanced.
I'm Alex Brown. Partly cloudy tonight and a low of 59. Tomorrow's high 82 degrees. The full forecast coming up after the news. Here's what's happening at 11 o'clock. For the first time, Fishers has a mayor. Scott Fadness is the new mayor of Fishers, elected tonight.
Hard work and all just the volunteers that we've had. We focused on a grassroots effort. We knocked on a ton of doors. We went into a lot of living rooms. And we just worked hard, and I think that's ultimately what made the difference.
Voters in Fishers also elected a city council. 5th District incumbent Susan Brooks will go for re-election in November. Brooks says she cares about people and solutions over politics.
I want people to realize that I am very focused when I take votes or when we're working in the district and talking to people in the district, that I'm very focused on jobs, on the economy, on national security, and on getting people to have some confidence again in Congress.
7th District Congressman Andre Carson won the Democratic nomination and will face Republican Kat Ping in November. Incumbents Marlon Stutzman, Todd Rokita, Larry Bouchon, and Todd Young all received the Republican nominations in their respective districts. Voter turnout has reportedly been low across the state. 2nd District Congresswoman Jackie Walorski, who is unopposed in her district for the Republican nomination, says it was low in St. Joseph County.
I think it's very symptomatic of what people are feeling towards Washington, where, a lot of people have just checked out. They don't trust Washington. They don't trust, a lot of the big administration ticket items that have come down. And I think you see it reflected in these votes.
Walorski will face Democrat Joe Bach in November. A motorcyclist was killed this afternoon at 38th and Boulevard Place after crashing into an IPS school bus. There were no students on the bus, and the bus driver was not injured. Here's the forecast from the American Standard Cooling Weather Center.
Very mild overnight, partly cloudy, 59 for the low. Wednesday afternoon, windy and warm, partly sunny, high 82, 84 and partly sunny on Thursday. I'm RTV6 meteorologist Kevin Gregory.
It's 65 degrees.
Take a guess at what's on sale from Unique Home Solutions in May.
Triple pane windows and gutters.
That's right, but that's not all. What else do you think's on sale in May?
How about solid core Stateman siding and 50-year roofs?
Right again, but that's still not everything.
Sounds like it's easier to say what Unique doesn't have on sale in May.
Everything Unique sells is on sale in May for 25% off. It's Unique's annual spring whole house sale.
Including my favorite kitchen and bath makeovers.
Including kitchen and bath makeovers, too. And the 25% off includes labor.
Am I also right that you have free handyman service just for looking?
Right again. So take advantage of the whole house sale and call Unique.
Unique Home Solutions.
1-800-800-1971.
It's time to breathe better, Indy. Franciscan St. Francis Health, the American Lung Association, and Emmis Communications are on a mission to help Central Indiana Hoosiers improve their lung health.
May is Asthma Awareness Month. Approximately 1 in 11 adults in Indiana are currently diagnosed with asthma. If you live with asthma, you know how important it is to follow your action plan and avoid triggers like tobacco smoke, pollen, or even pet dander, so that asthma attacks don't take control of your life. Unfortunately, many people with severe asthma struggle, even with medications. Franciscan St. Francis Health now offers bronchial thermoplasty, a new
back at 6 or at 11?
Procedure for
11. It's the last update.
Asthma is
the
now
last
controlled
update.
with medications. Bronchial thermoplasty.
Now, by the way, I
provide
can do the
long-lasting
basics on
relief,
this answer.
reduce attacks, and help you
But
take
it's not
control of
my
your
wheelhouse.
asthma.
It's
Asthma
not
should
my.
not stop anyone from leading an active, healthy life. Go to
It's not my-
breathebetterIndy.com or call
not
877-751-LUNG for more information.
Are you saying you would like my help?
No. That's not it.
State. This is
It just doesn't.
primary
I don't
election
like where it
night
goes
coverage
radio-wise.
on Network Indiana. Now, here is political reporter Eric Berman.
Good evening. We are wrapping up our primary coverage. Most of the results are now in. We can run through what the matchups will be at the congressional level. In the 2nd District, Jackie Walorski was unopposed. She will face Joe Bach. That will be the one marquee race in the November election at the congressional level, Bach winning the Democratic nomination easily. The 3rd District, Marlon Stutzman, the Republican incumbent, facing Justin Coonley. Coonley winning by just 88 votes in the Democratic primary. 2 teachers victorious for Democrats in the 4th and 5th districts. John Dale will take on Todd Rokita. Sean Denny will take on Susan Brooks. At the legislative level, 3 incumbents go down to defeat. Rebecca Kubacki and Kathy Hewer in the House, John Waterman in the Senate. This is Network Indiana.
He worked out early, practiced late, and studied well into the night. The next day, he did it all over again.
She missed time hanging out and socializing with friends, so she could make it on time to practices and games.
He became a top student and a confident leader, even as he helped his team win back-to-back conference titles.
She became a role model in her community, even as she led her team to an undefeated season.
And when they finished playing high school sports, what did they do next?
She graduated from college with honors and went to work for a successful company.
He attended graduate school and became a difference maker in his community.
Because that's what student athletes in Indiana do. They use the skills they develop playing high school sports today
To do even bigger things in life tomorrow.
high school sports.
A winning part of a complete education.
This message presented by the Indiana High School Athletic Association and the Indiana Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
We are back with our political analyst Abdul Hakim Shabazz as we wrap up our coverage of this year's primary election. Abdul, let's start with the legislative races because I understand you've been in touch with at least one of the candidates who has lost her seat tonight.
Tonight I spoke with Rebecca Kubacki and the campaign manager for Eric Bassler. Like I said, one victory in the Bassler race, a loss in the Kubacki race. Kubacki did not regret some of the more controversial votes that she took, whether it was to regulate daycare facilities, unlicensed but received state funding. She said it was worth the lose to keep more children alive. She did not regret her vote on HGR3. So she's holding her head up high, even though the voters, the few that did come out, vote her out of office. With the Bassler folks, Eric Bassler's always gotten calls from his fellow senators saying, hey, you beat John Waterman, but still welcome to the club. We're a collegiate body. We need to work together to move forward with Indiana's issues. So the sun will rise in the morning regardless of what happens this evening.
Yeah, listeners haven't heard us say much about the Democratic races tonight for a simple reason. There weren't very many Democratic races tonight. One contested race for a state House seat, and that for the right to challenge an incumbent. Actually, it's an open seat, but it's a Republican open seat. Same thing in the Senate, just one contested Democratic race. There are, of course, the congressional races we talked about. Joe Bach is the big one there. That is the one congressional race people will be looking at. We suggested earlier in the evening that this was was a won't-get-fooled-again race. Dan Morrison nearly upset the endorsed Democratic candidate 2 years ago in the primary. This time Joe Bach had the endorsement and was on cruise control. How does he do in November? It's looking like a Republican year. What are his prospects to put this seat back in the Democratic column?
I think if Democrats have a shot at reclaiming a seat in the second congressional in Indiana, it is the second congressional district. Even though it's more Republican, it's still competitive. If you think about it, back in 2006, it was Joe Donnelly who swept in and beat Chris Chicola back then. So it is a competitive race. It potentially has the potential to be competitive, but either due to the time, the energy, and the resources to go after Jackie Walorski, who did not have a primary challenger.
Yeah, and of course, 2 years ago, when that district was redrawn, people said, well, Jackie Walorski is going to coast, and she won by just a single point. Do we expect it to be close again, or is Joe Bach going to have his work cut out for him?
Well, here's the other thing, too, to think of mind. Will there be a Libertarian candidate?
Which also complicates
which also could potentially, complicate matters as well. Like I said,
I think there already is. Actually.
Yeah, and if there's going to be a race to watch at the congressional level, it will be the one in the second congressional district.
We will see how it plays out. We will see you back here on these Network Indiana stations 6 months from now. 9 congressional seats in play, and of course, Secretary of State, State Treasurer, State Auditor. Good night.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Tony Katz Tonight.
You are in.
Tony Katz Tonight, election night. Great to be with all of you. For those of you who voted, good for you. 7% turnout? Madness. 317-239-9393, toll free 800-571-9422. I actually did put out a tweet to Dennis Prager. I mean, I said I'd answer the question from the last caller. I'm going to. But I am clear it's absolutely not my wheelhouse. And it's not that I can't have the conversation. It's that I sometimes don't like where the conversations go. Not that they're not important to many, but sometimes they get too holier than thou and not enough into the information necessary to help form an opinion, a thesis, to get to a conclusion or to create a solution. Because you're talking about religion. I'm not opposed to religion. I should say I'm not opposed to belief. I'm not opposed to the idea that someone believes there is a higher power. I'm fine with that. I think religion, you can find places where there is plenty to quarrel about, to disagree about. There's room for having issue. But the caller asked a question regarding my conversation about what's going on there in Rialto in California, where 8th grade students were being asked to do a report, to do a paper, and their assignment, I should say, to where they believe the Holocaust. They were asked to explain whether they, quote, believe the Holocaust was an actual event in history or merely a political scheme created to influence public emotion and gain. And I kept going back to this statement. This is from the lesson. When tragic events occur in history, there's often debate about their actual existence. For example, some people claim the Holocaust is not an actual historical event, but instead is a propaganda tool that was used for political and monetary gain. Well, I don't know which tragic events they're talking about in history where there's often debate about their actual existence. There can be debate within the existence of the thing that is clearly there. We don't, if you want to debate the number of slaves, that would be different than debating whether or not there was slavery. No one's debating whether or not there was slavery. We're debating whether or not the Holocaust was an actual historical event. No, people who have an ideological and financial interest in stating that the Holocaust didn't exist want this debate to happen. That's what makes this assignment so insidious and so sick and so twisted. It is about revisionist history. So I'm not quite sure, Paige, how that gets to our caller there in the last hour. But I said I would answer it, and he asked right at the end. Jeff, I think, was the caller. But I want to bring it to some kind of cohesiveness, because he's asking about Isaac and Ishmael, and it's not the show that we do, right? It's not the everything that we're all about. But if the question is to the idea of what creates the division between Islam and Judaism, or Islam and Christianity, the whole idea of Isaac and Ishmael, with Ishmael and the concubine Hagar being, cast asunder for Sarah and Isaac, a conversation there that would, I guess, for some, breed a concept of resentment and bitterness. All right, I guess you can go and use that as your baseline. I would assume that many theologians would go down that road. But I think that when you come forward in an understanding of where Islam is, and we should be specific here and clear that we're talking about those who engage Sharia, we're talking about these radicals, that the objective of what they're after is what drives. At least that would be my thesis. Somebody might disagree with me. That it is about what drives them. And what drives them is the idea of the worldwide caliphate. What drives them is the idea that you submit or die, that you must be a Muslim, you must believe, or else you are part of the dimitude. You must pay what's known as the jizya, which is a tax that non-believers pay to basically be able to keep their lives. The genesis, I guess theologians and Page, I don't know if you count as a theologian, but I certainly, what was that?
I don't know if I'd call myself a theologian.
I don't know either. When we come back from the break, I'll take your 2 cents in that. But I wanted to answer the question I got asked. I'm happy to answer. I think that going back to that genesis, I think creates too simplistic of a response that somehow might explain away the actions of today. In a world where you don't have an enlightenment, where you don't have any kind of understanding of a modern world, you're still after total submission or killing those who won't submit. That's not a disagreement. That's people wanting to kill you. I don't know if I can go back to this simple, if you want to call it that, theological answer of, well, yeah, the Hagar and Ishmael were cast aside for Isaac and Sarah, and therefore here we are today. Nah, it's a much deeper conversation than that. More ahead. This is Tony Katz Tonight.
The sounds of spring in Indiana. And everyone's favorite. Things can change in an instant, so it's good to know where you can turn 24 hours to get the latest info.
There will be the potential of some isolated strong severe storms.
When spring storms hit,
The best chance of these severe storms will be from Indianapolis to the south.
we spring into action. 93 WIBC.
Wow, this is Dick from Dr. Dirt. With the recent storms, if you think you have hail damage, call the only company I recommend. All-Star Roof Siding and more at 317-522-6409. I didn't think I had hail damage, but Tom Myers, All-Star owner, came out, met my insurance adjuster.
I think some people on Twitter are kind of
and now I have a new roof gutter.
Surprised that I would reach out to another radio host. I don't see the problem with that. I have never figured out the problem with that in my life.
Thanks, Dick. This is Tom Myers, owner of All-Star Roof Siding and more, and I'm a retired insurance agent with over 16
Somebody
years
wants to talk about culture. Somebody wants to talk
Your
about
house is too valuable to use just any company. Just ask
concepts to move message, how to reach people. I'm the guy you come to.
All-Star Roof Siding and more.
Theology? I'll ask Prager a question.
That's 317-522-6409. Keep
No,
that number handy.
why wouldn't I? I don't care if he's on another network. It doesn't matter at all. Do I want the right answer or not? If he was, I put it out on Twitter. If he was awake and called me, I'd talk to him right now. Be thrilled.
Fishing or camping, Gander Mountain has what you're looking for. And we have men's.
We're both in LA. We're both cigar smokers. We've never met.
Mom's favorites too. Plus, we always have the best.
Which I think, by the way, is anti-Semitism.
Smith & Wesson and Federal are just a few of the brands we carry, and always with the best prices. And our firearms experts will help you select the right firearm for you, which is why everyone, from experienced marksmen to people just getting into firearms, knows Gander Mountain is the premier store for shooting sports. And this week, in all 3 Indy area stores, we're having a Shooting Sports headquarters sale for specials on ammo, firearms, and security products from great brands like Winchester, Remington, and Liberty. So come to our newest Gander Mountain in Avon on Rockville Road in the Gable Crossing Shopping Center for everything you need to enjoy the outdoors. Gander Mountain, we live outdoors.
Again, Greg Garrison here, and I'd love to give you softer skin, spot-free glasses, and a $1,200 savings. Well, that's what
I love it when Greg Garrison gives me softer skin. Don't you, Paige?
Water system.
I'm sorry, what was that?
Don't you love it when Greg Garrison gives you softer skin?
And a K5 drinking water station.
I do.
I know. I know you do.
All details, and make sure you tell them
I know you do.
Connecticut $1,200 savings special that Greg Garrison was talking about. Again, visit ConnecticutIndy.com to learn more and tell them the Garrison sent you.
Is this the year for that outdoor kitchen or maybe an in-ground pool, or do you just need to take care of the drying? Trust the pros at JS Concrete. They'll take the time to listen to what you want, whether it's a patio, a pergola, an in-ground pool, or driveway. They can offer creative suggestions if needed or just create your vision. Either way, you'll be pleased with the outstanding service, knowledge, and creativity. Call JS Concrete today, 771-1301, 771-1301, or jsconcrete.com. Know your options. Visit the Second Opinion Clinic at Franciscan St. Francis Health Cancer Center to discuss your diagnosis and make sure you're getting the most advanced cancer treatment.
I'm Gary Dick. Inside Indiana Business Radio provides the breaking news you need to get ahead. Indiana's business.
I'm moving on, Paige.
Weekdays at 6:40 a.m. and 5:35 p.m.
It is time. I said I'd answer the question, and I did. Look at you with the happy music.
You're listening to Tony Katz tonight. To talk to Tony, call 239-9393.
You're in.
Paige, I'll give you a choice.
Okay. Fleetwood Mac or?
Oh, no. Choice of things to discuss. I've got. I mean, we had all the whole election kerfuffle tonight, so I haven't gotten to everything that has been on my plate. I'll give you a choice. The outrage over the Saturday Night Live slave skit, or how ignorant John Kerry is.
That is tough, but I haven't heard of the SNL thing. What's that? You've piqued my interest. I'll take door number 1.
Our good friend John Gabriel over at Ricochet has one of the many stories. There is a writer for now for Saturday Night Live. I don't know how long she's been there. What is her name? Her name is eluding me. Right here it is. Wait a second. Where'd it go? Where the heck did it go?
Racism.
I know. Jones, Leslie Jones. So she is a black woman on Saturday Night Live, and she did a skit about how the star of 12 Years a Slave, Lupita, what's her name?
Lupita Nyong'o.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Was at one of these award ceremonies, or she's on the cover of People magazine as the world's most beautiful woman. And this comic, she's here in Northern California, in North Hollywood. She's here in Southern California, I should say. Leslie Jones, she's a big girl. And she's saying, the problem is I was born in the wrong time. Right now, yeah, Lupita's clearly beautiful. But if, these were the days of slavery, I would be the jackpot. I would be the winner. I'd be having a baby every 9 months. It was an insane Weekend Update skit. It was brutal, but it was funny. It was funny. The sketch is called Number One Slave Draft Pick. Oh yeah.
That's the direction they took it, huh?
It's It's the idea that what we consider beautiful has certainly changed throughout history.
Oh yeah. Oh,
It was a very. I thought it was well done. I laughed. I said, "Wow, this is something." It was risky. You know, when you're on a show like Saturday Night Live, and you're, I think Jay Moore wrote the book "Gasping for Airtime," "Gasping for Air," I think was the book. But how difficult it is to get on the air. You gotta do something with your time. You got to do something while you're there to make a splash. So this is the way she went with it. Well, people are just disgusted. From Ebony.com, Jamila Lemieux, who I can't remember the story about her, but it'll come to me, wrote, "This Leslie Jones person is an embarrassment. I'm so appalled right now." She took to Ebony.com to further berate Jones in an essay, saying she minimalized the brutality experienced by black women during slave days. I can't disagree more, but she's entitled to an opinion. I'll let her have the opinion. People outraged by the skit. Outraged. You can't discuss it. I don't think she was glamorizing slavery. I don't think she was saying that she'd be better off a slave. I didn't get that vibe. I got the vibe of she knows who she is. She knows she's not what today's world would consider a classic definition of beauty, but she has something to offer. It was an off color. You bet your ass it was off color. I thought it was well done. I thought it was actually a kind of a not I shouldn't say inspired choice, but if you wanted to make a name, to recognize who you are, to recognize that you're not the classic look, to recognize that you're, what was she, 6 feet tall or something like that, it was a way to do it. And I laughed. Should I somehow be embarrassed or ashamed that I laughed? I don't know anymore what is and isn't acceptable. But it has gotten people. It's got people absolutely crazy. And it's different then, because what John Gabriel writes about here is how on MSNBC for Cinco de Mayo, one of the hosts in the morning stumbled around the studio in a sombrero, shaking maracas and taking a swig from a bottle of tequila. Now, there's no comparing the two. I am not about to sit here and say that NBC is the worst network in the world because they put both those things on. The idea that you're celebrating Cinco de Mayo by putting a guy in a sombrero drunk, that's stupid. That's not funny. This comic on a comedy show saying that if it was a different time, she'd be considered beautiful. The delivery I thought was solid. Some of the jokes were great. It was. Do you think she's actually saying we should bring back slavery? No one thinks that in their right mind. But it's not comparable. What MSNBC did is so ridiculously dumb. Put a guy in a sombrero, have him shake maracas, and act like he's drunk. That's not funny. But the same can't be said of this Leslie Jones. She put a skit out there. She put a conversation out there. What's beautiful? I don't see anything wrong with it. I laughed. I'll say it again. I laughed. By the way, I laugh at Saturday Night Live, folks. I laugh at Saturday Night Live. I listen to Bruno Mars. You know why? Because I can't find enough conservatives to make me laugh. I just want to laugh. See, you've got me. What do I do? More ahead. This is Tony Katz Tonight.
This hour is powered by Indiana Roof and Exterior.
Pick on Paige. That's what you do.
Hey.
This Saturday,
I didn't
70
pick
Indiana
on
World
you.
War II
I made you a star.
free of charge to Washington, D.C.
By the way, you're welcome.
The World War II Memorial was not dedicated until 2004. Those of us at Indy Honor Flight realize the importance of this trip to the men and women who proudly served our country so many years ago. You can be a part of this.
I will talk about how unfunny conservatives
are. This Saturday, May 10th, around 8 p.m. Here's your opportunity to say welcome home and thank you to our nation's greatest.
Yeah, we're not funny at all.
Appreciate B&W Plumbing, Heating, and Air
we're the
Conditioning
worst.
for helping us get this message.
Which is why I think we have a really hard time reaching the younger generation.
Air conditioning dealer B&W Plumbing, Heating, and Air
They want people that are relevant and can talk to them in their terms, and instead we've got these stuffy business suits.
Take a lot of pride in that, to where we are the people that's on the phone talking to a lot of the customers. So when they call and they have a question or they just want to...
Don't challenge me, chat room. I mean, you know I said the skit was, not the Saturday Night Live was. They do plenty of stuff that's garbage.
Plus rebates this spring on American Standard air equipment. Get more info.
I've laughed at Saturday Night Live. Sorry. I didn't laugh at anything. Who's the guy from Sheldon from Big Bang Theory?
Brings the audience to its feet. Now,
what's his
Barry
name?
Douglas returns to the Indianapolis.
Jim Parsons.
I didn't laugh at anything he did. He was completely unfunny. Lena Dunham, pathetic. Pathetic.
Barry Douglas plays
This was a funny skit. I said so.
25, then conducts Beethoven's Fourth Symphony.
You believe something politically, so therefore you can't watch music, you can't listen to music, you can't watch a play.
Visit IndianapolisSymphony.org.
I'm going to start screaming about this in 30 seconds.
639-4300. May 16th and 17th at the Hilbert Circle Theater. Beethoven and Mozart.
Oh, now another reason to leave California.
Indianapolis Symphony.
Where am I in time? Okay.
Hi, everybody. I'm Larry Howald from Howald Heating, Air, and Plumbing. Welcome to You Too Can Be Cool. Go ahead, caller. We have time for one more.
Thanks for taking
It's
my
not
call.
cheeseburger, it's cheeseburger. You got to say it right.
Can you still make me cool?
Absolutely. I might have to turn to the experts at Carrier to make you really
Paige,
cool,
find
but as I
a
say,
Saturday Night Live
there's no
skit
one
and come
on
in
this
with that.
earth that Howald Heating and Air can't make cool.
Okay.
Well, thanks, folks, and remember, with Howald Heating, Air, and Plumbing, you too can be cool.
Are you looking for teaching and preaching that is biblical?
Did I read you wrong, Benzie?
Also makes you
I mean, it's possible.
Pastor John Gable of Tabernacle Presbyterian Church.
We like to believe that every church is Bible-based, but we also believe that Scripture is not simply a set of rules to be followed. The Bible should engage and challenge us, not just our hearts, but our minds and actions as well. God didn't make us to be robots, but living, loving beings with the ability to respond to Him and the needs of others. This means the sermons that come from Tab's pulpit are Bible-based, delivered with thoughtfulness and intelligence. They challenge and encourage us to think about what God is asking us to do. We hope you'll visit soon and discover for yourself how God is speaking to you.
Tabernacle Presbyterian Church, 34th Street and Central Avenue in Indianapolis, invites you to worship Sunday morning at 8, 9, or 11. If you can't make it in person, tune in to Sunday with Tab, Sunday mornings at 6:30 on WIBC. To learn more about Tab, visit us at tabpres.org.
Springtime in Indy, and after a brutal winter, why not do what Glenn did with not one but two homes? He called Rhino Shield.
My wife actually, on our old house, actually on our roof, and the paint can then fell, covering the roof and the shingles, and it was at that point we said, you know, we just really don't want to do this anymore.
Now, Central Indiana, you can get the guaranteed protection of Rhino Shield for 15% off the regular price. 15%.
No fries, chips.
There is an R factor to the paint, and so we actually feel as though...
Cheeseburger. Good job, Starly.
Heating bills, even our air conditioning bills, just because of the R factor.
Springtime savings. Get 15% off the regular price of Rhino Shield. 15%.
Landshark.
They actually transfer it to the new owners.
Candygram.
Owner of Rhino Shield.
This offer's limited, so hurry. Call me at 888-RHINO-41. That's 888-RHINO-41.
We've watched our neighbors who moved in after us already start to repaint, and we're just cooking along.
Hey, don't Rhino, go Rhino Shield. Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
All right.
Meridian Mortgage Solutions is giving all home buyers a $500 credit towards closing costs. Go to
Oh my God, my ears are clogged.
and get a
What the
low
heck is
fixed
that all
rate
about?
starting in the threes.
Did I just
Little
look
to no
crazy,
out-of-pocket
like trying to
closing
pop my
costs,
ears?
And no payments till summer. Perfect or less than perfect credit. We can help in most cases. Call 317-968-9500 or apply on
Perry, I need a 64-ounce Coca-Cola. Coca-Cola.
Additional terms and conditions apply. Equal housing lenders.
Maybe my best routine to date
Number 2975.
was the Coca-Cola.
Fun with a touch of snark and smothered in awesome sauce. The chicks on the right keep you laughing. Presented by Indy Tire on WIBC.com. To talk to Tony Katz, call 800-571-9422 or 239-9393. This is Tony Katz Tonight.
Wake up in the late
You're in.
Call Parnell just to
This
see how he's doing.
was a good. Oh, good. Very, very, very good. This is funny. All right, turn it off. I think they curse soon. I don't know if that part's bleeped out or not. That made Adam Sandberg, Andy Sandberg. Made him.
You know, whoever he is.
Andy Sandberg. Brooklyn, was it Brooklyn 911 or Brooklyn?
Yes, Brooklyn 99. I love
Brooklyn 9. Great show. Great show. So good.
I don't get when people say it's not funny because I think it's hilarious. But
Listen, there are times where it's not funny. The Lena Saturday Night Live, the Lena Dunham one was awful. The one we were talking about during the break, Jim Parsons, was awful. Awful. Terrible.
I can't see him playing anybody but Sheldon Cooper.
Yeah, well, you know, I don't think he'll have much of a career after Big Bang, but he's making so much money on Big Bang. That doesn't matter. He doesn't have to do anything after this.
Racking up the Emmy nods.
Oh, who cares? It's about the cash. Give the Emmys to someone else. Just give me the bank account. Getting an award from a bunch of other self-absorbed people who want to tell me how great I am? Thanks. Write checks. That's all I'm asking. I mean, I think you just got to have a little focus. But I mean, I wasn't kidding. The political right, or the right, I don't know how you want to call it. They're the most unfunny people on planet Earth, and they abhor funny. They don't like funny. They have a disdain for comedy. This show is a perfect example. When I don't talk about news 24/7, I get yelled at.
Why are we talking about this? Who cares about culture? We live in it.
Good Lord. I mean, I know our friend Larry O'Connor has actually an article about it today, which I'm pretty sure he stole from me, and I'm claiming racism. But it's true. We try to diminish funny. We try to diminish comedy. We try to diminish talent, musical talent, and art, and literature. Not just writing a book about why there's another, attack from the left on whatever. I brought it up today because it was culturally relevant. Because they're doing it through education. It's a reason to move into homeschooling. It's a reason to stay on top of your local school board. It matters. But my God, these people don't want to laugh at all, Paige.
Well, and when we do try to be funny, it's so stiff.
Well, they are, not us. You don't mean this
right.
program.
Right, because
we're
a
hilarious.
Different breed. We're running on everything because we have it all ours.
That we have the goods. We got the stuff. We got the juice.
But I mean, it's to me I guess we'll call or what are we calling them? You call them the right, the political right, whatever. I mean, yeah. Anytime they crack a joke too, you're like, what?
No, they don't crack jokes.
No, well,
they
try. Every now and again they'll do that awkward, but they'll do that awkward, like stand up at the podium and be like, hi yuck, and you're like, oh, this is so awkward.
First of all, anything to hear Paige talk about the yucks. That's always just terrific. Seriously, Republican comedy is equivalent to pulling out a rubber chicken. That's basically what it's come down to. And they're ashamed of it. There's nothing wrong with watching Saturday Night Live. There's nothing wrong with it.
When Saturday Night Live is good and doing funny stuff, it's great to watch. It's worth staying up. But when it's not so good, you're like,
Well, remember, we're talking about two different things. When they do political, and they're clearly attacking the political right far more than they ever attack the left, it's annoying. I get that. I don't not get that. But it goes back to what the hell are you going to do about it? Are you going to start something, or are you just going to complain about something? And our side wants to complain about something. They don't want to hire people, put them in a writing room, and then build the talent. Do you know how tough it is to write comedy? Drama is nothing, kids. I mean, good drama still takes talent, but drama is nothing. Comedy is difficult. Comedy is brutal. Write a joke and then write another joke. You go try stand-up. I dare you. I dare you to do stand-up. You think you're funny at the party? You ain't funny. Go stand on stage and do it for a 6-minute set. See what happens to you. It's unbelievably difficult to do. And it's far more difficult when you have an entire group of people that don't want you to try. They're opposed to it. They're ashamed of it. The world is falling apart, and you're talking about football. You're talking about Saturday Night Live. Yeah, world will still be falling apart tomorrow. Every radio host in America will be telling you about how it's falling apart. And you know what they're going to do the next day? Same damn thing. Same crap. I'm not interested. I'm not interested. I could care less. I talk about the things that I think are important, and I talk about the things I think are interesting. The chat room's asking me, by the way, Paige, Tony, if people don't hire conservative writers, how are they supposed to get a break? It's a great question. The answer goes like this. Oh, this is rough. This is rough. Conservatives need to think much more like liberals. I'll just let that sink in. I'm just going to let people marinate in that, Page.
They're going to marinate in it?
They are so going to marinate in those juices, Paige. Right now, they're having such a kerfuffle in their minds. They're having a mind kerfuffle.
Now you're just going for extra points.
By the way, Paige bet me that I couldn't use the word kerfuffle in every segment of the show.
That's why you've all been hearing it.
So, if you've been following, like, what the hell is with Katz? Is he having
Did he
have a stroke and not tell anybody? What the hell's going on? I have dropped it in every single segment. And perfectly, too. Like, just go with the flow. Just moved it on.
They weren't having such a kerfuffle over there in the Middle East. We could move on, couldn't we?
See, no, that's not funny. You can't use kerfuffle in the Middle East. You can't. Just see this. You just follow my lead, Page. I'll take care of everything. All right. All right. Listen, I made you a star, but you're not really a star yet. You have work to do. That's all I'm saying.
Okay.
All right. All I'm saying is that you have work to do. Don't be so upset by it. The difference between conservatives and liberals, and one of the many differences, is that the liberal understands that their ideology matters and wants to support the ideology regardless of the return on investment. The conservative doesn't think that way. The conservative, if they're putting up dollars, wants the return on investment. The return on investment is a saved nation, a saved policy, a saved thesis, putting an idea out into the world. This culture war is going to take 100 years. And it's going to take people who are willing to write checks. I saw somebody on Facebook today, facebook.com/Tony Katz tonight, if you would like to follow, and you should. Good times will be had by all. Where someone was saying, you know, I'm sick and tired of not getting any support. I put all this time into this website and hundreds of dollars, and I'm not getting anybody to care about what I'm writing. This was somebody who claims to be a conservative. First of all, hundreds of dollars? Congratulations. But no one will get excited over hundreds of dollars. Now, it means a lot of money to you. I don't say no to that. But it's not a lot of money in the major scheme. That's number one. Number two, nobody owes you to pay attention to your content. That's true. And in the same exact voice, I can say, in the same exact sentence, I can say that in order to move a cultural message, we need those who are who have the means to find the people they want to be angels for and the voice that they have, and move that message out and keep that message going. That not everything will be a financial return on investment. When you complain about the amount of money you've put in, what you're saying is, why doesn't anybody reward me financially for what I've done? That tells me you are not willing to do any sacrifice. If you're not willing to do any sacrifice, why should anybody back your project? Why should anybody back your voice? You're not even willing to lose a few $100s. You have to be willing to lose it all if you want to move a message. You have to be willing to risk it all. And what we need, when I talk about conservatives thinking like liberals, are people out there to say, this is the kind of person, this is the type of message that I want to support, regardless of any financial return, because that voice can move others, and that's valuable. The left does it extremely well. The right refuses to do it. It's based on, it's based on, for lack of a better word, how they view the world. And if the right really wants to compete, they got to think like the left in this case. Sad but true. This is Tony Katz Tonight.
When it comes to the big questions, the big minds come to Garrison. Congressman Todd Rokita.
Get the budget back in balance.
Susan Brooks, our guest.
Good morning, Greg. So thrilled to be here.
Congressman Paul Ryan.
Listen, witness, then do something.
Governor Mike Pence.
My first interview after the session.
Senator Dan Coates against the Garrison Show.
Well, Vladimir Putin has seen a major sign of weakness in the West led by our president.
Garrison, 9 to noon on 93 WIBC and WIBC.com.
Hey, it's the chicks on the right here to tell you about our spring cleaning heroes at Zero Res Carpet Care.
Yep, now is the best time to clean up, and that means calling Zero Res.
Only Zero Res cleans green using their empowered water technology, and there's no residue left behind, and your carpets stay cleaner longer.
Plus, you shouldn't just clean your carpet and surfaces when they look dirty. You call Zero Res because they make your home healthy and clean, getting rid of all the bacteria and germs you can't see.
And isn't that really the whole point of spring cleaning?
They're still running their 3-week special.
All right.
Just $129 for pre-treating, cleaning, and sanitizing. Just call them at 388-5141 and ask for the WIBC special.
And don't forget, Zero Res cleans upholstery, countertops, and tile floors, too, with no soaps, shampoos, surfactants, or any other chemicals.
No
That number
surfactants.
again is 388-5141, or
Paige?
you can visit zeroresindy.com
Yes.
and tell them the
Surfactants.
chicks on the right sent you.
Yes.
Don't forget, spelled forwards or backwards, Zero Res is the right way to clean.
Hey, Bob, what's up? Ooh, that doesn't look good.
Yeah, I have a roof leak, and my gutters have pulled away from the house over here. I don't know who to call.
You should call Preferred Roofing and Restoration. Their reputation means everything. We've used them on this house and our last house. They're local, family-owned and operated. They use quality products, take no shortcuts, and I trust them. They handle roofing, siding, windows, gutters, and everything.
That all sounds just like what I'm looking for. What about my insurance company?
Preferred Roofing and Restoration has years of experience dealing with insurance companies, so they'll get you the most out of your insurance dollar. They can either work with your insurance company and handle all the insurance claim processes, or work with you. You need to call Preferred Roofing and Restoration today.
Yeah, I sure do. Contact Preferred Roofing and Restoration today. Call 414-3044. That's 414-3044. Online at preferredroofingindy.com. Preferred Roofing and Restoration. Reputation.
All right.
Are you putting your money into an IRA, pension, or 401k? Then I hope you're prepared to lose 30, 40, 50% or more of your retirement savings. Because it's not a question of if the market crashes again. It's a question of when. It's going to happen. Did you know there is a way you can protect and grow your wealth safely and predictably every single year? The people using this approach didn't lose a penny when the market crashed in 2000 or 2008, and they won't lose a penny in the next crash. In fact, their money will continue to grow safely year in and year out, even when stocks, real estate, and other investments tumble. A free report detailing this savings program is now available. This free report shows how you can get guaranteed growth, safety, and wealth-building power without risking your retirement in the Wall Street casino. This is the best way to have a 100% secure retirement. It far outperforms any IRA or 401k. To get this free report, visit bankonyourself.com. That's bankonyourself.com. Bank on yourself. It's
a great time to give your home a beautiful new look. Now during Menards Flooring Sale. Choose from a fantastic selection of carpet, all on sale, from top brands including Citation. Enjoy the great looks and durability of our net frisé carpet by Citation. In 3 colors, just 99 cents per square foot. Plus get free carpet pad after rebate with qualifying purchase. Save big on Citation carpet plus much more during Menards Flooring Sale.
Save big money at Menards.
Indiana Roof and Exterior Cleaning safely cleans and seals your deck, concrete, or your home's exterior. Check out Indiana Roof and Exterior Cleaning services at indianaexteriorcleaning.com.
Talk to Tony Katz. Call 800-571-9422 or 239-9393. This is Tony Katz Tonight.
You're in.
By the way, Paige, the chat room is right. We've been so obsessed with this whole election night kerfuffle. You're welcome. Every segment did it. We did not get to your oral report about Animal House. As we all know, Paige has never seen the movie Animal House. And this, well, the show has standards, ladies and gentlemen. We have rules. She must see Animal House in order to stay on with us. So oral report. Now, first question. You don't have to give it today. I just want to know, have you seen it?
No.
So you were not prepared for your homework assignment?
Nope.
So let's talk about this from an audience perspective for just a moment. Are you here for the audience or not?
Yes.
No. Well, let me try that question again and see where we get to. Did you have a homework assignment?
I did.
And what was that homework assignment?
To watch Animal House.
Did you watch Animal House?
Nope.
Are you here for the audience?
Yes.
You know what? Just maybe we have a bad connection. Let's try this one more time. What was your homework assignment?
To make you and the audience as mad as possible.
Oh, success! Oh, look at you! Look at you! You are like the Omarosa of Tony Katz Tonight. Well done. That's excellent. That is very, very good. Wow. Congratulations. What's wrong with you that you haven't seen it?
I have things that I do.
No. According to Prairie in the chat room, you're a witch. You must be burned. Seriously, what could you be doing that you're so busy?
Raising a child.
Okay, listen. Sometimes the kid sleeps, right?
She does, but I don't watch TV during the week at all.
Okay, but this was for work.
Yeah.
First of all, I'd like to get a show of hands from the audience. How many people would like a job where their homework assignment is to watch Animal House? Oh, look at all the hands, Paige. Look at all the hands.
How many people, once they get a job, have homework assignments?
Oh, you're right. Nobody ever takes work home. You are so right, Paige.
That's different.
Oh, Paige.
Work home is different from a homework.
Oh, my goodness. No one ever has a special report to do, Paige. Holy crap. It is not like the boss sometimes walks in and says, I need that TPS report by Tuesday. That's a Friends reference, ladies and gentlemen. Bank on it. I need that TPS report by Tuesday. That doesn't happen. You are so right.
There's a difference between taking work home and homework.
So you're not objecting to seeing the movie. You're objecting to the word that I used?
No, I just...
Okay, so you are objecting to seeing the movie.
I just have no interest in seeing it.
But it's not about your interest. It's about what's best for the show. You get that, right?
No.
I'm trying... Okay,
it's a movie. And you can tell me it's as life-changing as you want to be. I have plenty of movies that I found to be life-changing. You don't see me saying, Tony, you need to watch these for the benefit of the show.
By the way, can I tell you that I am now officially looking at leaving California? Can I make that announcement? This is no longer theoretical with me. by the end of the summer. Would you like to know why? Would you like
being taxed to death?
Well, yes, and I can't talk to you anymore about Animal House. The level to which you're wrong is astronomical. And I never got your whole view on my Isaac Ishmael conversation. We'll do that another time. There is a guy named Mark Desaulnier. Desaulnier? I think it's Desaulnier. He's a Democrat, state senator. He has introduced a bill to test out the vehicle miles traveled tax because the state's gas tax is no longer bringing in the revenue it used due to people driving more fuel-efficient vehicles. So if you're following the progressive madness, we tax the gas, people use less gas, and we invent vehicles that use less gas. The taxes don't bring in enough money for all the things they want to spend on, so they now find another way to take your money. I'm out, kids. I'm out. I've had it. I'm done. I'm done. These dirty, vicious, psychopath scumbags that run California ruined this state. Suck to high heaven. Ruined it. Ruined it. You know what the weather here is? The weather here is unbelievable. Today was amazing. Still leaving. Screw it. I'm out. I'm out, Paige. I am out.
It's about time. I keep trying to convince my family.
Yeah, well, they're just being ridiculous. They're being. I personally think they have a problem with Mark.
No, I'm pretty sure that's not it.
Yeah, it's her husband.
I'm pretty sure my mom loves Mark more than she.
Yeah, well, it's either Mark or your daughter, and I just didn't want to be rude.
You would bring the baby into this?
You didn't see Animal House. Everything is fair game.
Well, if you keep it up, I'm not going to watch it at all.
No, it's not about me keeping it up. This is your job. You don't understand how this relationship works.
Nowhere in the job description that I had to watch certain movies for this job.
Hey, by the way,
I'm not a film critic.
Who left swag for you?
You did.
Right. And what did I leave you?
A shirt and a mug.
That's right, I did. That's not in the job description either. Yet there it is.
You're really going to hold swag over my head?
No, I'm not holding it over your head. I'm telling you to watch the freaking movie.
What if I don't? You going to replace me?
Oh, God, Paige. I swear to you, if I do a replacement of you, I'm going to make you interview the people. Like, it's going to be brutal.
You really want to put that in my hands?
You should see the line we're going to have out the door. Oh. Out the door at Emmis. Are you kidding? People will be lining up to take this page. This is good stuff.
But will they have the technical skills to survive?
Oh, stop it. They'll at least have seen Animal House.
If that's all you need, you'd rather have Animal House than the technical skills.
Follow Paige on Twitter, producer_Paige. Follow me at Tony Katz, TonyKatz on Twitter. Online, TonyKatz.com. Tomorrow, everyone, open phones. Take care.
Well, spring is here, and so are those
lunatic
and thunderstorms. Are you the type
that worries
when it's
holy moly. Oh, wow. Yeah, California's crazy. Crazy. In an unrelated story, wait for it. Leave it at that. Guys, can't thank you enough, as always, and we will catch you tomorrow. It's going to be a good show. Later. Thanks.